Chan going on today. We got lots and lots of Chan beginning right now. So hopefully you guys had a great Friday. We're going to start the Chan ASAP. Hopefully we get to, I want to say part 65 at least. On this journey. We're in the 60s, so it means that we are catching up very quickly. Very excited about that, to be utterly honest. It's been a journey. It has been a journey when it comes to this whole ordeal. So I'm going to let you guys file in as I cough my freaking head off. And we're going to pin... What's up, Michael? All right, we're going to get ready. Can you guys hear me? I think you guys can. All right, we are good. We are muy bien. So, without any further ado, let's play that shit. Part 61. 61, my number.
What made her this way?
And let's turn the volume up just a tiny.
What keeps us fascinated?
What keeps us motherfucking fascinated?
This is the story of Chris Chan.
This is the story of Chris Chan. Is my camera frozen? I think my camera's frozen. Give me a second. I'm sure you guys can hear me, but I think my camera's frozen.
By late February 2018, the idea guy, Joshua Wise, was firmly molding Christine's thoughts and creative ideas. Unbeknownst to members of the QB Farms or other outsiders, Wise was by this point accompanied by 3 other people, one of whom was Stephen Boyd, who also role-played as fictitious characters with Chris, including one Gwen Mikoto, who allegedly lived in Kentucky, passing off his own family's address as Gwen's. The 2 other parties were involved to a lesser extent, and the identities of whom were never revealed nor fully uncovered. The idea guys primarily communicated with Chris through a closed communal chatting space on the instant messaging platform Discord. Here, they frequently convinced Chris to make social media posts of their request, influenced storylines of her comics, and asked for money. Both Wise and Boyd received new PlayStation Vita game consoles from her, in addition to numerous games and downloadable content. On March 3rd, Chris purchased a GameCube Game Boy player for $80, which would allow gamers to play Nintendo Game Boy cartridges on the Nintendo GameCube. In addition, she bought 2 GameCube games. These purchases were directly sent to Stephen Boyd under the pretense that they were to be received by his fake persona, Gwen Mikoto.
How do they get the fucking receipts?
That's what I want to know. The idea guys encouraged Christine to film a new house tour video for their amusement, which was shared with them privately.
Hello, on the internet, this is Christine Chandler coming to you
There's about
live
75,
from
76
home
of them,
once again,
Truman.
And today, giving y'all an update. We're going to take a tour of the house as it currently is. Boxes of the VHS tapes from Mr. C's collection and some of mine.
VHS tapes, classic.
There's a PlayStation monitor, and look, I found the C64 monitor today.
That's awesome. I want a Commodore 64.
There's my little high school, there's my little house, there's another house, there's Simpson house, there's Spooky house, and other.
What's up, TK?
I just kind of lost.
Yeah, I think he's definitely supervised now.
There's my desk. There's all my Sonichu and Sonichu figure prototype figures, along with Sonic and Mewtwo there, just because for now. And standing to draw nowadays, there's my back up a bit. There's my easel and canvas. Just see some things up there.
We're getting a house tour, baby.
On the clipboard on the top. I've been used to clutter type things. Life is laundry room with it's mostly blocked. Okay, hard to get to the back door, but we'll eventually clear it out.
Hard to get to the back door.
Cabinets, washer and dryer right there. And there's my bedroom. Just
2 VCRs and a C64 print shop. Nice. That's old school. I remember people used to edit with VCRs all the time.
And I got my ankle and wrist weights up there along with my waist cincher that sweats it out from the belly. There's there's my transgender flag. Here's my lesbian pride flag. This is my alarm clock. This wakes me up about 6 a.m.
The usual suspects.
It was my previous
Who's the
phone.
usual suspects?
Going upstairs, I don't want to talk much because my mother is up there. I don't want her to get suspicious, but it's pretty much where my mother is, and our dogs, sometimes our cats, and she's got mostly boxes of her clothes up there. So I'll just go with that, and I'll just look.
All of us are the usual suspects. I mean, you're not wrong.
Totally. This would be the guest room if it didn't store a bunch of our stuff in here. It was our craft room. There's a hutch in front of that door, which you just saw from the other side. There's a picture there.
I'm not going to call him a hoarder because my parents are pretty pack ratty too. I think it's a boomer thing.
Was my bedroom and all its love and glory is now more boxes. Just, half this room is occupied by my mother's boxes. Look, clothes. Closets full of more clutter things. I'd like to be able to sort it out and whatnot.
It's crazy that they the person that made this just went so in depth with everything that he's ever fucking posted or made.
What was my bedroom? That's pretty much it for the inside the house tour as it is today. So, yep. Thank you very much and have a good day. Where is that button?
On March 14th,
I bet you
Chris
has so
made
much
a
shit in
YouTube
his
video
house that he doesn't
informing
remember
her
what he
followers
has.
that she was selling a collection of comic books on eBay that were previously in the ownership of her half-brother, Cole Smithy. In the video description, she claimed that half of the proceeds would go to Smithy.
Hello everybody, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again, and today I offer you a very special offering. Not just a whole bunch of comic books, look at all of them. Very, very old and lovely comic books.
Nice collection.
Them, but they're all in quite good condition. And there's more over here in this box. And believe it or not, these books were all by none other than, and with official confirmation too, because it was also in the box, which I dug out of the workshop recently, Mr. Cole Smithy himself. Yeah?
They'd love to film a Game Changers
right
episode
now,
of those piles. I mean, wouldn't you want to do like
mother?
Digging through all his shit?
Barbara Ann Weston Chandler, do you personally recognize all these comic books in front of you?
Yes, I do.
And do you attest that they each belonged to at one point to your son, Joseph Cole Smithy?
Yes.
Why is he getting her to verify all that?
And not only that, but with each book, you're gonna get a signature from this lovely old mama of ours. And a certificate of authenticity that backs it up definitely and so furtherly. Each of these books belong to Mr. Joe Cool Smithy himself. These will be going on eBay, each with their own individual listing, and for the average current selling price from everybody else, you have my official guarantee. You also have my mother's official guarantee.
Official guarantee.
Alright, thank you all very much for your consideration and helping us with the household and the bills and everything.
Casey's Raw, thank you
y'all
so
have
much,
a great, safe
dude.
day.
6 months as a
Chris
member.
then listed the comics on
Appreciate
eBay
that.
at $30 to $40 each.
Thanks, dude.
Over Twitter, Christine elaborated that Cole Smithy had closed himself off from her and their mother, so Chris had many good rights to sell his possessions, since he was an asshole to them. She added that she did not contact Cole before selling the comics, as he had left them behind, implying he did not want to keep them. On March 15th,
make sure you guys smash that
Chris listed
like.
17 PlayStation 2 games for sale on the Facebook Marketplace for $200. The next day, she went to the game streaming platform Twitch to stream herself playing the racing game Burnout Paradise Remastered.
That helmet too big.
Wait, Chris
for your
Chan
head.
did Twitch?
Smashy, smashy! Smashy, smashy! Smashy, smashy, smashy!
Oh, you didn't get me that time.
Slow down just in time!
Just in time. Step in time, step in time, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme.
You're not gonna find... Wait.
Whee! Whoop, 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 whoop.
Hey, that was a pretty good curly.
She played for around 1 hour, and the stream chat remained fairly active, though she failed to respond to comments.
Yeah, you could pick up adult. I don't think Chris Chan
On March
uses adult
17th,
diapers.
Christine
I
posted
think Chris
a photo
Chan
of
knows
her
how to
Christine
wipe
doll,
his ass.
accompanied by her custom amiibos depicting Sonichu and Rosechu, celebrating 18 years since their inception.
Or
It
their
was
ass.
possibly around this time that Chris got banned from the End Games card game store. The managers of the establishment had known of her online reputation since they frequently received bothersome phone calls from low-effort trolls, or weens. However, she had maintained a generally acceptable demeanor in the store until she vandalized a sign promoting an upcoming Pokemon card game tournament by sticking on an image of Sonichu. The owners later replaced the sign, and Chris found the old one in the store's dumpster, along with her picture of Sonichu. She then confronted the manager in an angry public display of disapproval, and the manager argued that Sonichu was not a Pokemon and should not have been on the sign. After this altercation,
What's up,
Chris
Craig?
was banned from re-entry.
You got that right.
By March 19th,
here we go
the Idea
again.
Guys had convinced Christine of the existence of a new Rosechu character by masquerading as her through online chats over Discord. Her name was Crizzle Rosechu, and she and Chris quickly developed a romantic bond for each other. This was part of their scheme to trick Chris into believing that she was a pedophile, since Crizzle said she was 15 years old. 3 days later, Christine listed her old portable gaming gadget, the Pokewalker, for sale on eBay, priced at $100. It had been painted to appear like an Eschew ball from her Sonichu comic series. It was sold within a day. On March 23rd, Chris entered the Fashion Square Mall in Charlottesville, Virginia, from which she had been banned. Soon after, she was charged with trespassing after forbidden and was placed on the therapeutic docket, a program offering routine meetings with courthouse staff and mandatory therapy sessions for those with severe or persistent mental illness as an alternative to jail time. On the 26th, Chris announced on Twitter that her sweetheart search was finally over, punctuating her statement with 3 colored heart emojis. When asked by Twitter user TingsTings, she clarified that it was a relationship with 2 others to whom she was close in real life.
I guess once you get one, it don't even matter if you add on to it, right?
The Idea Guys made her believe that she was in a polyamorous marriage with Crizzle Rosechu and Magichan Sonichu. Magichan's inclusion in the marriage was part of their ploy to convince Chris that she was bisexual. On March 27th, QB Farms user The Big Straw, who had purchased one of Cole Smithy's old comic books, received their purchase. They admitted that the comic did not deserve the price and was sent out over a week late, but their main item of interest was the certificate of authenticity that was allegedly signed by Christine and her mother, Barbara. Dabik Straw argued that Chris had forged Barbara's signature since they both looked strongly alike. They sent a complaint to Chris over eBay. She quickly replied, stating that she would be filming a video showing both herself and her mother signing their names. The video was uploaded
What's up,
on
MC
March
Watch?
28th.
Yeah, back for more.
Hey, Mom. Yeah. Trouble you for a minute?
I'll be there in a minute.
You'll be there in a minute. I have the camera running right now. We talked about the signature. So everybody right here, this is my mom, Barbara. And what we're doing today is, apparently there is a complaint from a customer. I better turn on the overhead light here, if I can muster it. Light. Is that light? Yeah, that was the light. Light's not turning on that one. Or is it? There's my mom, Barbara Ann, and I'm giving her my
Barbara
pen.
Ann.
My pen, you see?
Barbara Ann.
And she's signing her name and dating today's date. Oh, shoot.
Slayer Truman.
What's the day? I didn't check. Yeah, I believe,
Smash the like on the way out, please.
28.
Yeah, there you go. It's 28. So go ahead. Alright, so yeah, you just wrote that, and it's... Alright, and now I'll sign it. We're doing this today because somebody complained about my mother's signature not being legitimate compared to mine, so there's my mother's signature. She just signed it.
I want to meet the people who buy his shit.
My signature. The clipboard's transparent, but as y'all all can see, there's mine and my mother's. There's differences, so that's what our signatures look like respectively. Okay? And, Mommy? Oh, hello?
Mommy.
Hello.
See? Here she is. Okay. Alright, thank you, dear.
Man, she was
Alright,
gone.
so hopefully y'all take that for a good lesson, and, talk to y'all next time.
On the final day of March, Chris received the results of her genetic makeup after being encouraged to take the test from genealogy testing site 23andMe by the Idea Guys. She discovered that she had trace amounts of Jewish ancestry and so deeply apologized over Twitter for the hurtful comments she had made at Jewish people, including owner of the game place, Michael Snyder. She later updated her followers that she also had some African ancestry. In addition, the test showed that contrary to her claims, she had no trace of Native American DNA. She soon after made a YouTube video updating her fans with this development.
And apparently, about 100% European. But also, in my paternal haplogroup, which that comes from my father, apparently, there was some black in him, so I'm black too. I'm
Man, thank God
0.1%
Chris Chan didn't do the whole
Ashkenazi,
I'm black
Jewish,
guys thing. Could you imagine?
and 0.2% broadly European. So, black and Jewish behind this person. This individual right here. I'm black and Jewish. It makes a little bit. So, on the highlight of that, I'm definitely taking the first preposition to address. I personally wish to extend my apologies, my most sincere apologies to every single Jewish individual in this world and everywhere else for saying all the hurtful things I had said in the past over the years. And also, I extend the same apologies to the black people. I never really had any offense against black people, mind you.
Mind you.
I'm a fan of Michael Jackson. I'm a fan of Louis Armstrong.
I'm a fan of Michael.
I was a fan of Red Fox. I was a fan of the guy who played George Sanford. George Jefferson.
What's up, Rich?
I like black people.
Yeah, his cake was the biggest regret.
And I didn't really have a thing against Jewish except for that one time where I said that thing hastily to Michael Snyder, if you're listening to this, I apologize to you as well for that hurtful insult. So
sorry, Michael Schneider.
And I'd like to go ahead and state and emphasize right now that
hang on a second, guys. I gotta answer this call.
Myself.
Don't go anywhere. Make sure you smash that like. Hello, I'm back.
I appreciate my Jewish heritage, and I respect all Jewish people from now on and everywhere else, and I encourage everybody to do the same. Everybody else do the same. But I reserve my right to not celebrate Jewish holidays. I may, if I'm invited, then I'll celebrate with all of you, but that's not going to be my typical thing. So with that, everybody be appreciative, be open, be kind, be supportive. I'm still a trans woman. Okay?
A lesbian trans woman.
On April 5th, Christine listed more of Cole Smithy's old comics and other childhood items for sale on eBay. She displayed the listings in a YouTube video uploaded the same day.
We definitely have one-of-a-kind, unique items here. They're going to be a great buy, a great investment, and they'll each come with a certificate of authenticity, individually marked from me and our mother, Barbara Chandler, with our names on them, and that's personally verified. And some of these actually have Cole's signature on them. He has a whole bunch of Kiss stuff. You just take a look in here, and you see there's some good Kiss memorabilia. Oh, and also a comic book I missed. It's a super special. Kiss. All the pages in there and everything. He drew a bunch of mazes. There's his initials right there. You could definitely compare that to previous thing. And
Cakes me involved. I don't think Chris Chan's able to get online, or else I would.
Random this and that's another maze. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for now. Okay, thank you.
The folder containing Kiss memorabilia was quickly sold for $150. On April 6th, Chris posted a new drawing in which she, in her Quickfill human form and her Sonichu form, apologizes to all women of a smaller breast size. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking a moment to offer my respect and kindness to all women who are and remain flat-chested. The true beauty and essence of any individual woman is on the inside from their personalities, respectively, mind, heart, and soul. Breast size never makes a woman who they are, so I, Christine Weston Chandler, salute and acknowledge the flat-chested women. Y'all are prideful. Y'all are good people. Thank you. On April 8th, Christine engaged in a lengthy conversation over Discord with the Idea Guys. Joshua Wise mainly portrayed Fiend, an evil character from the Japanese anime series Symphogear, and Stephen Boyd played Gwen Mikoto. After making Chris believe that she was a pedophile, they demanded that she pay them $20,000, or else they expose her pedophilic thoughts to the public.
To be online anymore.
When she objected to their demands and harsh words, Wise as Fiend posted an image of Kadengir, a super weapon from Symphogear, claiming that if Chris did not do as she was told, the weapon would fire at the moon, destroying it, with the potential of hurling debris at Quickville. Chris belittled Fiend's weapon, writing that she could fit it inside her urethra, with room to spare. Fiend called her bluff and fired at the moon. As Wise described a moon chunk falling towards Quickville, Magi-chan, also played by Wise, showed up in the chat and demanded that Chris do something to help, instead of crying in a corner and humping a plush doll of My Little Pony character, Twilight Sparkle. Chris denied these accusations and stated that she was instead protecting her city and nation with all of her soul.
Coey?
She yelled that she still
You're
had
serious?
hope that they would
So
survive.
you've run into
Boyd as Gwen
Chris
appeared
Chan
to
in real
brand her
life?
a liar because she allegedly lied about being a pedophile for years and claimed to have found child pornography on Chris's computer. She then accused Chris of lying about being a man and then a woman in order to have sex. Christine called Gwen a traitor for working with the enemy, since Gwen apparently was Fiend's student. Gwen said that she would abandon Fiend if Chris gave her $500. Christine stated that she no longer had that kind of money. Boyd as Gwen instead demanded that Chris sit outside to ponder about her abhorrent toxicity for a week, without food or toilet breaks. If she didn't comply, Gwen would blow up Quickville's dimension with a nuclear bomb. Chris wrote that she would commit suicide if the dimension ceased to exist.
The dimension.
Wise as Fiend then claimed to bring over Chris's wife, Crizzle, who was furious at her for threatening suicide.
Yeah, how long ago did you trespass him? How long ago was that?
Fiend then returned and claimed to have stopped the moon chunk from falling to Earth, and together with Gwen, asked Chris to film a video apologizing to Gwen, which she delivered to them about 7 minutes later.
Gwen?
Baby, come back.
I'm sorry for everything.
Good song.
I messed up. I'm a fuck up. You got me as a pedophile.
10 years ago?
Vagina.
Thing about you.
I lied about too many things in my life.
Baby, come back. Ain't on me.
Was that? I'm not that
Yeah,
person.
was it your boss he ran over? Was it your boss?
I'm sorry for everything.
What's the name of the store?
Gwen, I'm really sorry for everything.
Why does he think
Since
that's
the
gonna
idea
make a
guys
girl
were not
want to talk to
satisfied
him?
with her offering, Christine offered something else. She showed them a picture of a large, spiky Sonichu penis she had drawn on the wall. Gwen asked her to show it to her mother.
Sonichu.
A few minutes later, Chris reported that she showed the Sonichu penis to Barbara, who was shocked and offended by it. She started to cry and then ran back upstairs. Chris then called herself a butt-fucking champ. After some extensive disputes concerning the marital position of Quickville, Christine asked to appoint a few consultants and advisors, including the Sonichu form of her late father, Robert Chu, and Anna McLaren, Chris's longtime friendly acquaintance. Her request to have Anna participate was rejected. However, it is likely that Chris indeed contacted Anna and told her about her current complicated situation. Anna may have gathered that Christine was under the manipulative influence of trolls and reported this information to Joshua Moon, or Null, the administrator of the QB Farms, in addition to other significant members. She, however, delayed calling the police about the matter since she was studying for college final exams and ultimately did not do anything more to help Chris. On April 9th, Chris posted a brief YouTube video featuring Barbara.
Please buy our comic books. We need the money for a mortgage. We appreciate your help. Thank you.
The next day, Chris tweeted that she realized with the help of her sweethearts that she was bisexual, so put up her large lesbian pride flag for sale on eBay because she felt she needed to buy a bisexual flag to match her new identity. It was quickly sold for $100. She later on changed her Facebook profile gender to bisexual transwoman. The following day, she apologized on her Patreon page to her supporters for failing to deliver any new Sonichu pages for over 2 months because she was busy catching up with the happenings in Quickville, but promised to return to completing Sonichu issue 12-9 soon. Chris elaborated on the conversation via a YouTube video uploaded the same day.
Hey everybody, Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again in response to
You're
the
not live,
post
Chris.
I just made on my Patreon to give you a little bit of an update. That's definitely true. I have been catching up on a whole bunch of Quickville events. But anyway, to pretty much summarize it up, definitely in a bit of a quote, pretty much how I'm feeling everything.
Alright! Shut up! I hear you! I'm coming down! These pretzels are making me thirsty!
As she continued to give idea guys more gifts and money, while also falling back on mortgage payments, Christine listed more and more of her personal items for sale. This included her custom-painted Wiimote controller for the Nintendo Wii game console for $150. On April 13th, she posted her Bible on eBay for $200, but soon removed it since she did not find a spare that she could keep for herself. Later that day, she listed 2 vintage Transformers toys that were personally signed by her. After several fans complained that signing her name devalued the product, she removed her signatures. Chris promoted her eBay items in a short
Shut
YouTube
up and
video.
buy my toys.
Hello everybody, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again. Please buy the things I'm listing on eBay right now. My mother and I really need the money. Please help us immediately. Thank you.
On April 14th, she listed her Manchester High School amethyst graduation ring for sale, first for $1,000, then for $10,000. Soon after, she changed the price again to $5,000. The next day, Christine posted a YouTube video titled "Dick Licker, That Is I," in which she fervently licks the drawing of Magi-chan's penis on her wall. On that same day, someone who called themselves Shadow Resident, who claimed to have known Chris during their time at Piedmont, Virginia Community College, began uploading several YouTube videos demanding that Christine apologize for allegedly mentally scarring him at PVCC on Monday, April 15th, 2002. His videos are no longer available, but they featured minimal imagery and him whispering his message to Chris. In the comments section, he wrote that he was not able to send these demands earlier because he was in a mental ward for 10 years because of Chris's scarring. According to a comment he left on the Dick Licker, That Is I video, Shadow Resident implied that the aforementioned video was made on his request. Chris, however, rejected his claim and confessed to making the video
Make sure you guys
on her
smash that
own
like if
volition.
y'all haven't done it yet.
The following day, Christine wrote on Twitter
yo.
that she apparently remembered the identity of the so-called Ween who was addressing her online, and announced a forthcoming apology on YouTube, asking others not to reveal his personal information or dox him. She shortly delivered the apology video.
And today I am here to talk about this person who has come to my attention, this what you call a ween. I'm here to verify personally that there was actual history with this individual. This guy is legitimate, not fake. But I will refer to him by his online alias. But anyway, it took me a whole lot of research and recollecting. But anyway, I had typed up everything I have about what I remembered. So, yeah, this guy was at Piedmont, Virginia Community College, Mr. Shadow Resident. I had taken his class in the spring semester of 2001. We were reading a bunch of short stories and critiquing them. I was very misunderstood on how to critique them, and I wrote off tangent in my assignments and in responses.
He was getting trophies?
Mr. Resident kicked me out of his class, only for a settlement to happen later where I met with him in his office to finish the assignments with a better understanding on what the resource was. Anyway, so I had to retake the course the following fall semester, but with a different professor. And I remember giving Mr. Resident kind of a mental word association relation to Dr. Robotnik, because his personality type was similar to that of him, and he kind of looked like him as well. So I'll tell y'all the short story about what happened that day on April 15th, 2001, I entered the classroom like any other day, feeling neutral and well. Then Mr. Resident tells me to leave the classroom. I was not welcome into his class. I picked up my book bag and...
What's up, Pixel Castle?
Left. The door closed behind me, and I was very upset, and I did not know what to do with myself for the next hour or so. I went up the hallway to the part PVCC by the auditorium where they had all the long tables unfolded, and I cried and I cried and I cried with my arms folded and my
favorite system of all time? I have no clue.
Laying on my arms.
I would say I like a little bit of everything.
Anyway, I eventually, much later, pulled out a piece of paper. Then I wrote what I did on there. I returned to the now empty classroom shortly after the class had finished, and I left a note with his name on it on the desk. And I had written something like, "You made me cry. I will never forgive you." Yeah, this Mr. Resident, upon all the retrospect, I do owe you the apology, and I do humbly apologize for having written that note to you. And
yeah, I know he's out. I made a video about it a while back.
And going to
that's why we're watching
all
this.
that you had gone through.
We're watching the series to catch up
PBCC later
for the future,
as far as your record could tell.
Because the story's going to continue now.
There you go, sir. That's there's your.
Yeah,
apology.
I don't like the rambling either. I like it when he does gross,
satisfactory enough
stuff
for you. And I hope you have a good day and a good rest of your life, and that you are never trolled by anyone or doxed. So we'll just leave it at that.
Whether Shadow Resident was actually the teacher from Chris's past is not fully known. Members of the QB Farms leaked what they thought were the personal details of the person behind the Shadow Resident's persona,
you
but
got
their
a beer ready?
veracity
Nice.
is unconfirmed. It was also at around this time that Chris began forming a friendship with several Twitter users who frequently replied to her, including Tings Tings, Little Amy Chan, and Desiree Delightful. They portrayed themselves as genuine devoted fans of Chris and fashioned themselves as her protectors against trolls, calling themselves the Quick Protect Squad. To increase their mutual trust for each other, they made numerous Sonichu and Chris-chan related drawings for
It was my
Chris.
first time going through this series.
On April 16th, Chris uploaded a video of herself exercising with dumbbells because the characters the Idea Guys were portraying told her that she had to keep in good shape while in Quickville.
I was doing a little workout. I do my warm-ups and workout every day between, push-ups and jumping jacks and the other stretches that I like doing. But anyway, one thing that I really like doing, which I'm going to show y'all in this very video, after I get my hair pulled back and my sweatband on, and then put my cap on. Now lift these bad boys up.
The government had no choice but to let him out. Yeah, he has a future court date. He's not
20 pounders. Both of these are
out of
20
trouble.
I like doing 100 reps every day, and y'all gonna watch me do 100 reps
I talked
today.
about all that on video
I do 100
already.
reps daily. Most daily, okay? Anyway, count with me.
But yeah, he's
2, 3. We are 50.
Give me a second.
And 50 makes 100. Yeehaw! Alright? So get yourselves working out with me. Do 100 reps a day.
I always lose focus
Make
when
sure
he's
you
just
warm up.
rambling. Like, I like when he's doing fucked up shit or
I also
freaking out on somebody.
do my leg ups. Do 30 of those a day. Okay? So anyway, y'all can enjoy that. Have a good day.
Later that day, Christine uploaded a 4-second long video fulfilling a paid request, which featured her mother, Barbara, stiffly dancing the twist. Viewers noted the visible dog feces atop of newspapers on the floor in the background.
I have friends that have fucking dog shit in their house like that.
The next day, Chris pleaded for her followers to provide her with more money. "We are making the mortgage and food by the skin of our teeth here. Seriously, I would not be able to afford even the ticket to BronyCon at this point without making all these sales. So, please help me so I can meet you this year. Please, buy now to help me get to BronyCon 2018. Money is tight here. If I don't make the money, I can't go at all." She expanded on her conundrum in a YouTube video posted shortly afterwards.
Look, everyone, I know you want me to show myself in a video doing what I'm doing for my mom with using the money to help pay her back. I mean, but rest assured, the money that I would be getting, is going towards helping my mother. Alright? And it's also going towards helping me as well, because it's not just her that has the problems here, I have the problems too.
Imagine the biggest problem you got is if you're going to BronyCon or not.
Please, buy the Transformer toys from me. Buy everything from me that I put on eBay. Please, 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 please!
Slater Barbecue Corey, appreciate
Later
that.
on, Christine wrote a string of tweets, likely being coerced by the idea guys. "Everyone, I do still need the money here to make ends meet for the household. Seriously. I was using BronyCon as a sales pitch excuse to try to sell the toys. I owe a lot towards making amends for my past. You would not believe me if I told you how, but suffice to say, I had done a lot more things in my lifetime from within my subconscious that ended up doing things worse in this world, and even in Quickville. I am a major sexual deviant, and my fetishes have made a lot of individuals turn against me. I have a long list of fetishes. I'm a furry. I like the MLP ponies and equestria girls and guys. I like all kinds of individuals. I like big breasts. I even like those as young as 16 years of age. I'm a porn addict. I'm even into scat and pee. I still have remaining, lingering jealousies of men, enough to subconsciously want to kill. I also do like Cybertronians, Autobots, and Decepticons alike. It is super bad that I may as well voluntarily register myself as a sex offender, and all this among others have affected my relations with everyone, every pony, and every bot. My years of repressed sexual urges have made my Sonichus and Roastchus essentially go hog wild all over the places, even to go around terrorizing everyone to get me some vagina. I also have a fetish for old people too, even my own mother. And I have a fetish for myself, where when I have the chance, I would have sex with my Quickville counterpart, and even my Equestria counterpart, Nightstar.
What's up,
her sweetie, Cunty Nugget, was so handsome, he made me realize I was bisexual. He was like, wow! And now, thanks to my subconscious lingering jealousy, Cunty Nugget is dead now. My damned subconscious killed my Nightstar's lover. So much damage to a lot in this world, and even there in Quickville's dimension. That's what's been driving me crazy these past months. I was worrying over my nation and my species of Sonichus and Roastchus, and there is a lot to make amends, as well as reforming and redeeming myself. And Jesus Christ is not one who would be doing that for me. I must reform and redeem myself for the benefit of everyone. I had repressed myself for too many years, and the worst of that has caused a lot against me with everyone. And to you all, and all of them, I have been very remorseful and sorry for everything.
CWC
I wish
Netflix.
to be reformed, redeemed,
I don't think Netflix
and
would ever
forgiven
pick up
by
this story,
everyone.
but he totally had a meltdown on Facebook.
Chris returned to Twitter to inform everyone that her account had allegedly been hacked, and that her previous tweets were not her words. Later again, Chris wrote that she was having an existential crisis and asked for help. From the events of these past few days, it became all the more clear that Christine was still under the control of bad actors. No one knew for the time being their true identities, the extent of their torment, or even the lengths they would soon go to use Chris's loosening grip on reality for their own amusement.
It's pretty hardcore, I would say. Make sure you guys smash that like. Let's go to the next one, part 62. Holy shit. We are burning through this documentary. Who's enjoying it? It's fucking crazy. It's like, it's almost hard to fucking believe that this is a real fucking person. What made her this way?
What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan.
Ooh, the music got all scary right there. Y'all hear that?
Objects. I'm not adding objects. Will somebody tell this PlayStation to stop this? Will somebody tell this PlayStation to stop this? We have debts, we have mortgages, we have toys to sell. Come on, everybody, buy this thing. $100, complete set, complete with certificate of authenticity. Come on, come on here, ka-ching, ka-ching,
Oh
ka-ching,
yeah,
ka-ching.
we know it's only gonna get worse.
On April 17th, 2018, Christine live-streamed a captain's log on the streaming site
Captain's
Twitch,
log. I'm gonna start
which
doing
focused on
captain's
promoting
logs.
her items for sale on eBay.
Why? Why? Why are you doing this to me? I didn't know anything to you. Stop it! I'm just gonna ignore these things. I'm gonna put the TV on mute. That's what I'm gonna do. Put the TV on mute. So I don't have to listen to these darn things. Keep it on, put it on. Ah! Anyway, it's definitely hard to find this complete set. Hey, somebody's calling me. You're declined. Guess what? You're declined. All calls will be declined. Despite the Alolan Pokemon Center theme going off.
He almost looks like a contributor for that guy with the glasses with that hat and fucking get up.
Anyway,
Like, that's the type of people that used to go to fucking Channel Awesome.
Now, I'm gonna separate this thing myself on purpose. I'm gonna separate this
Like,
thing
you know what I
on
mean,
purpose.
guys? They're all kind of like weird.
Right, so anyway,
like, no offense if
buying
you're
that.
autistic.
You're going on to eBay and you're buying that, and I'm not listening to phone calls. I told you no phone calls.
But they're all that kind of weird. Like, they all have a hat.
No. Get a complete certificate.
They all have some kind of weird
So you pay $100 for this complete set with
tick.
certificate of authenticity from me, and you're paying $100 for this with certificate of authenticity from me. Go on eBay. Go on eBay. Buy these. Buy them now. Give me $200. $200. Buy 100 for this. 100 for this. Give me money. Give me money. 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 Give me money. We need money. Pay mortgage. Pay bills. Pay bills. Do this. Do that. Do that. Maybe go broke. The questions all on me. Yes. I don't want to scream again. I'm gonna go collect all that. I can pay bills so I can help my mother around here so she can afford to get her broken teeth removed. You're okay, I love you. I'll tell you what, folks, here's a guest star. Here's Mr. Polo. What's up, cutie Polo? Oh, Mr. Polo. He's got a little body boy. No calls.
He keeps getting phone calls. Could be an emergency, dude.
Mr. Polo. Oh, look who else we have here. Look at this little kitty boy. And our family. We have lots of support. You so fine. You're so fine. I let you go. Here. Everybody gets attention around here. Everybody gets attention.
Cute cat.
I'm streaming. showing them off, but everybody wants to see. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Barbara Ann Weston, everybody. Say hello to the lovely folks out there. You're being streamed on live Twitch Network.
You're being streamed on live Twitch Network.
Say some kind supporting words to everybody. Tell them how you're doing. How are you, Barbara Ann?
I'm doing fine.
So, what's going on with you, huh? Everybody wants to know. You're the big interview talk. Talk what's on your mind.
I'm resting.
And what are you doing with yourself?
I'm entertaining myself.
What do you like to eat?
I like to eat fish and chicken.
Do you have any favorite fruits?
Your bananas.
You enjoy those bananas?
Yes.
And what do you like to drink?
I like to drink chocolate milkshake.
And what kind of milkshakes are these?
These are
Meal replacement.
delicious.
They're meal replacement shakes. So, any other, you want to give some kind supportive words to everybody, like, I don't know, y'all do well, y'all do good, learn well, be educated and everything, that sort of thing. Give us some wisdom.
I don't know any right now.
Come on, you have a lot of wisdom in your head. What are you doing to me?
Be smart. Act smart.
Be smart. Act
That's
smart.
all.
Okay. Thank you, Mom. Love you.
Love you.
Give us a hug. Give me a hug. Show me a hug. Give it. Come on, both arms.
Okay, let me go.
Oh. Wait a minute. Turn me loose what?
I'm thirsty.
Come on. Just say it once. Turn me loose.
Why is he
Turn me
being
loose, Reggie.
fucking weird?
You're supposed to say, turn me loose, you silly goose.
Turn me loose, you silly goose.
You used
Turn
to do
me
that more
loose.
flirtingly.
Oh, he wants her
Anyway,
to
here you go,
flirt.
people.
Oh my god, that's
Barbara
gross.
Ann Weston Chandler, folks. That was our live on this show, and you will not see her again from the live streaming. Yeah, so there you go. You saw my mom. Now go on to my eBay shop and buy the toys. Help us! Help us! Oh yes. I want to share a word of gratitude for the one who thank you for buying this ring. Thank you for
He's
buying
hitting on
this
a
ring.
boyfriend
You
free
paid
girl,
me some money
yeah.
there, but we still need a lot more money. We have a hefty go to get to. But it does help. It does help very much. Thank you for buying this ring. And you are a true friend, and I will ship it to you very soon. Definitely. And also with that, I definitely transfer the powers from the
Definitely.
ring into my medallion. No, back to our regularly scheduled flight and program. I think coming soon to my East Coast store in a few days. A whole bunch more.
What's up, Tim
We
Allen?
have to sell all of these first. So you buy all of these. Okay? So, go to my eBay shop.
Those dogs,
I'm
always
gonna end this
so
streaming
loud.
very shortly.
Static noise.
Come on. Now, please. Help us. Help us. Help my family. Help me. Help my mom. Pay mortgage. Pay bills. Everything. On my toys. Come with certificates of authenticity with each of them. Please. Do it now. Thank you.
What's up, Oscar?
The person who had bought Chris's amethyst high school ring was QE Farms user, the Captain, who managed to buy it for $200 rather than her original asking price of $10,000. The Captain had come to suspect that Christine was under the control of Idea Guys, and so devised a scheme to free her from their clutches, which involved the possession of her high school ring. Soon after the livestream concluded, An individual known as Jack Z donated $1,200 to Chris to enable her to attend the upcoming BronyCon convention. Jack Z revealed that he had been a longtime follower of Chris and intended to meet with her at BronyCon and record a video of their time together. Christine soon went to YouTube to thank Jack for his donation.
Hello everybody, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again with a most hearty thank you to Jack. That was a Jack from up north who essentially paid me to go to BronyCon. Awesome. Very awesome. So,
BronyCon.
With a few more other arrangements I need to make, hopefully I will be there this year. So, that's awesome news. Thank you, Jack. And aside from that, we're still going to need as much money as possible to help us with the bills around here and the mortgage and everything. But so, I urge you all to please go ahead and buy the Transformer toys that I have listed and will be listing on eBay. Thank you, Jack. And thank
Tim
you all
already
for
said
helping
hi.
me. I feel some better.
I said
Have
hi.
an awesome day.
Shortly after, Chris drank a significant amount of alcohol and then recorded a video of herself dancing in celebration set to the song Lifted by South Korean rapper CL.
South Korean rapper.
And now, a little song, a little dance, a little music in my pants.
A little song, a little dance, a little music in my pants.
Hey, you get off my cloud. You don't know me and you don't know my style. Getting lifted, never come down. Getting lifted, getting dumb on the drum, rum, pom 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 pom.
Pom.
The following day, Chris posted on Twitter a photo of herself walking on a treadmill at the gym, Anytime Fitness, after being encouraged by the idea guys to join a gym to keep herself in shape.
She's in a gym.
2 days later, she uploaded a video for which Jack Z paid $100, in which Christine reads off a script that references the popular anime and manga series JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It was, however, prefixed with a special request from Chris.
Hello everybody, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again, this time using my webcam on my laptop because I have a special emergency announcement. My phone battery is seriously having troubles, so that's why I can only record on this. And my PlayStation 4 is also still not connecting to YouTube, so but anyway, I need money to purchase the new phone. Or otherwise to repair this one, probably less expensive to buy the new phone. And it's gonna be like a few $100, so let's buy some stuff off my eBay, please. The remaining Transformers I have. Anyway, please help me. I need a new phone.
Needs a
this
new
one's
phone.
really walking out on me. It's been walking out on me bad for a while now. Anyway, aside from that, I have a special message of which I have written down right here on a few pages. Anyway, so I have been warned by somebody about the nefarious trolls that are applying to cause mayhem for me at BronyCon. I know who you are, Dio Brando. I know that you are trying to use your stand power, the world, to screw things up for me and my true and honest fan base at BronyCon. You'll never win, Dio. Sonichu will be in all of our hearts. Show the love. Spread the love. Fuck you, Dio Brando. Aha! We know who you are, you bastard.
Show the love. Spread the love.
Anyway, so there's that message to Dio Brando. And in case you haven't noticed yet, yep, this is a new shirt I just got from Goodwill recently. Also,
matches the hair.
These these slacks, light gray. Okay? Yep. So, there's a new outfit for me, this fugly green sweater and track pants. So, take that as you will. Thank you all very much. Have a good, safe day.
Out of sight of the public eye, The idea guys were continuing to torment and extort Chris through various means, mainly threatening to harm Sonichus and other individuals in Quickville's dimension unless she carried out demeaning or harmful tasks, such as recording herself slapping herself.
Nice lesbian bulge. Oh my gosh, why are they slapping themselves?
She also allegedly filmed herself striking her mother, Barbara, though admitted that she hit lightly. In another short clip, Chris yells accusatorily at her toilet. The reasoning of this video was never truly uncovered.
Hey, you toilet! What happened to my baby?
From April 20th to the 21st, Chris engaged in a lengthy and agonizing chat over Discord, which later became referred to as Crizel torture. Joshua Wise, masquerading as Pito Yui, a character from the anime series Gun Gale Online, claims that she had just returned from killing a number of rose chews at the mall and setting it on fire. Christine asks if they could put out the fire, but Pito Yui writes that the Quickville Fire Department had been disbanded in exchange for crack money. Stephen Boyd, playing the part of Jesus Christ, enters the chat to ask Chris why the Sonichus had become drug addicts. Pito Yui then states that she has a hold of Chris's wife, Crizel, and shoots her in the leg. As Chris calls Wise's character a monster, Wise as Pito Yui blows off both
Chris
of Crizel's
kneecaps.
Christine calls her wife's captor a cunt out of anger, amongst other transgressions. To apologize for throwing insults, Pito Yui demands that Chris name all the children she will bear with Crizel. Mistake.
I only like
in
it when
addition,
there's gross
Boyd,
and, like,
as Jesus,
creepy
instructs
stuff.
Christine to punch herself in her breast until she vomits, and then send money to Boyd's other character, Gwendolyn. Pito Yui then informs the chat that she spills hot coffee onto Crizel and proceeds to slam her head on the table with a fork in her back. The idea guys followed up by telling Chris that she should record a video of herself begging on her knees for the evil characters to let go of Crizel. She hurriedly made it and sent it to them privately.
Pito, please. Please, I beg you. Stop torturing my Crizel Rose Chew. Please, don't hurt her anymore. She means the world to me so much. Please, stop torturing her. This is not right, this is not good, and it's no fun at all. Please, stop this senseless nonsense of yours, you fucking bitch. You make me so angry and upset.
Honestly, I'm surprised Chris hadn't done anything crazy like that yet.
Why you gotta do this? It's not right. This is not good. Nobody approves of this. Nobody approves of you doing all this senseless murdering and her torturing and killing. Now please, stop torturing Crizel. Now, I beg you.
Upon reviewing the video, Joshua Wise states that Christine was too monotone in her delivery and demanded that she make a better begging video, which she promptly delivered as well.
This troll's making him beg.
Stop torturing Crizel, Pito, please, I beg you. Stop it. You're really taking me off, and you're making me more upset. Stop torturing my honey. She means the world to me. Please, stop us.
Man,
stop torturing my wife. I beg
Chris could have had a redemption
you,
arc after
you.
the MagFest.
Stop this.
After watching the second plea video, Wise, still playing as Pito Yui, criticizes Chris for mispronouncing her name and tells her to make yet another video. Chris acknowledges the necessary correction and notifies Pito Yui that she wants to pee before recording the video, but she is told to pee in her room and record the video quickly.
Pee in the room and record.
2 minutes later, Chris uploads her third begging video.
Pito Hui, please.
I hope they didn't show a video of him peeing.
Stop it. Please stop torturing my wife, my love. It's a wait, please stop it.
Upon viewing it, Pitayui angrily criticizes Chris once again for pronouncing her name wrong. Chris then made one final plea video.
Pitayui, Grizel is my honey. I love her. Grizel is my honey love. Stop torturing her. Stop torturing her, you crazy fucked up bitch, Pitayui. Grizel, I love you, honey. I love you, Grizel. I love you. I love you. Pitayui, please stop torturing my honey. You're really killing us here. You're hurting me, and you're hurting her a whole lot worse than I can ever feel. Please, Pitayui, stop torturing my honey.
After watching the video, Pitayui types that Chris continued to mispronounce her name, and so stomps on Grizel's open wound. Joshua Wise, through his Pitayui persona, asks for another video, a cover of the song All Star by Smash Mouth.
Do
Chris
not feed
is
the trolls,
instructed
yeah?
to deliver the performance in an angry and constipated fashion. She soon uploaded the video.
Great, here we go.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking at her thumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead.
Upon reviewing her performance, Wise's character is let down, but ultimately finds it a passable
this
offering.
is all over.
Just then,
A
Grizel
fake
suffers a
imaginary
seizure
character.
and collapses to the floor. Christine yells for Pitayui to take her wife to the hospital, as Pitayui and her friend, Len, play pool and listen to the radio. The Idea Guy's characters eventually drag Grizel into their car to bring her to a hospital. When they arrive, Pitayui sends a photo of where she allegedly is. The image is purportedly of a run-down hospital in Venezuela. Chris is disgusted and asks them to take Grizel out, but Pitayui refuses, as Grizel has her legs and tail sawed off without being administered anesthesia. Grizel is then thrown back into the car as Pitayui and Len make their way back to Quickville. Christine expresses her want to vomit and claims to be crying, regretting ever chatting with Wise's character. Chris soon after stops replying to Wise's messages, and after nearly 2 hours of silence, Pitayui returns to inform the chat that Grizel was taken to a different hospital, where her severed body parts were restored. It was possibly not long after this exchange that Chris was forced to record another video. The circumstances which led to it are uncertain. The video is solely focused on Chris's bed. At first, she's out of sight of the camera, apparently speaking to an apparition of her husband, Magichan Sonichu.
Working on it, Magic-chan.
What?
Do that real quick. Get out of the way.
There is then the sound of what is presumably Christine urinating onto the floor of her bedroom. After she finishes, she comes to the bed, completely nude. She then starts playing the song All Star by Smash Mouth.
Somebody wants to world is gonna roll me.
I'm never gonna hear that song the same again.
Chris proceeds to mime enacting foreplay with Magichan.
Magic Bond!
Christine continues to sing along to the song as she takes a large blue pillow and alternates between humping it and masturbating herself. She continues to imitate sexual intercourse with an unseen entity until the conclusion of the song. Her penis remains limp throughout. On April 21st, the Idea Guys forced Chris to make a public YouTube video in which she apologizes for badly affecting the image of some fandoms.
And I have a very special announcement. I've learned that I've offended a bunch of fandoms of many various things. I don't know the totality or specifics of it all, and including especially the
bronies and everything My Little Pony related, so I'm very sorry to all of you. Please, please, please forgive me, and I hope I can make it up to everyone and that we can all move forward from this. Please. I'm sorry for ruining your fandoms. I'm really sorry.
Also on that day, Christine went to Twitter to announce that she had apparently traveled to the home of a fan residing in Virginia to personally deliver the vintage GoBots toy they had purchased from her eBay store. On April 22nd, she changed her Twitter profile picture to a stylized illustration of herself being kissed on the cheek by the artist of the image, Twitter user Ting, who was part of the Quick Protect Squad collective of supportive online acquaintances. This came about after Chris privately messaged Tings to inform her of her supposed marriage to Magichan and Crizel, and invited Tings to join her so-called harem. Tings then strongly implied in Twitter replies that she was Chris's sweetheart. The next day, Christine put up a collection of 32 pornographic drawings she had made in the past, including She Came for Quick, which depicted Christian sexually satisfying his friend, Megan Schroeder, which, like she had claimed years prior, was cut up into small square pieces. The background of the preview image was a collage that featured photos and drawings of Chris committing sexually suggestive acts, all presumably taken from the quickie. Christine wrote in the listing's description that she was ashamed of the works and would not be including a certificate of authenticity. The lot of drawings was priced at $1,000. She elaborated on Twitter that she wanted the collection to be sold within 4 days because there was a bill collector after her. However, the listing was removed by eBay for featuring pornographic imagery. On April 24th, Jack Z's real name and personal information was leaked on the Kiwi forums. To combat this, Chris wrote on Facebook in an effort to mislead the trolls by providing a false real name and location for Jack Z. Later that day, to increase funding for her various financial needs, Christine proposed some incentives on Twitter. Everyone, pull yourselves together if y'all want to see another house tour video. $200 directly to my PayPal gets y'all the house tour, inside and outside. No negotiations on the price. Anyone living locally to me in Virginia or visiting in Charlottesville, I'll give y'all BJs for money too. Serious.
Oh my god, he offered blowjobs for money?
Twitter user Tings later privately messaged Chris about her prostitution posts, asking if she was serious about the offer, with Christine replying that she was. Other users of the Kiwi Farms shared their private messages with Chris regarding the prostitution proposition. She revealed that she considered herself a beginner at giving blowjobs, having apparently practiced on her boyfriend, but was willing to learn and adapt further. She set a blowjob at a price of $50 and the prospect of anal sex at $100. Soon after, Lucas, a Twitter user, asked Chris to relist the lot of porn drawings on eBay, claiming he was willing to purchase it for $1,000. Christine wrote that she could not do that as it violated terms of service. However, the two managed to organize a trade, as the drawings were relisted specifically for the Twitter user to purchase, which he did, paying the total asking price. Lucas paid for the drawings with a financial assistance from his friend, known as Devil. And since the two lived nearby, Chris agreed to personally deliver the artwork to Lucas's house, marking the first of many future occasions in which Chris visited his home without his parents' knowledge.
Wait.
It was possibly at around this time that Kiwi Farms user, the Captain, received Christine's amethyst high school ring. It was accompanied by a single-page comic, later named Sonichu Special 5, which depicts Chris initially transferring 99.9% of the ring's power to her Sonichu medallion and then passing it over to the Captain for safekeeping. The Captain later admitted that the short comic further proved to him that something was amiss, since all the accompanying Sonichu characters in the comic panel appeared to be saddened by the relinquishing of the ring. The Captain during this time continued to exchange messages with Christine, earning her trust by indulging in her fantasies of alternate dimensions. He then hastily took a photo of the ring and photoshopped it to make it seem like it was emitting light, telling Chris that it was sending a message in Morse code, which apparently told her that the characters portrayed by the idea guys were lying to her and were not to be trusted. Not long after this discussion, she felt that she had enough proof to believe the captain, so she gave him access to her social media accounts, including Discord, so that he could quote-unquote scan them for viruses. Upon reading through chats on Discord, the captain was appalled by the idea guys' manipulative tactics, which by this point resulted in them extorting from Chris around $6,000 worth of items, gift cards, and direct transactions. She confirmed this by sending him photos of some of her receipts. He also uncovered all the videos that Chris was forced to film, including some never revealed to the public, such as an alleged 2-hour-long reaction video of Chris watching disturbing pornography, and one wherein she hits her mother in the face. The captain then alerted QB Farm's moderator and former head troll, Marvin, who coached him on how to talk like Chris whenever the idea guys messaged him. In the meantime, Marvin set up a script to rip and archive all the chat logs of the Discord, while Chris was told not to talk with the idea guys any further. She used this time to catch up on all the television series she had wanted to watch but couldn't, since she was apparently restricted from doing so by the idea guys. After about a week, all of the Discord group's chat and media records were logged, and the captain stopped messaging them back using Chris's account. Due to the sudden inactivity, the idea guys panicked and banned Christine's account and tried to erase all chat history, albeit in vain. During this time, Joshua Moon, or Null, the administrator of the QE Farms, was notified of the recent revelations regarding the idea guys. Null contacted the sheriff of Greene County regarding the extortion, but he declined to take action, apparently notifying Moon that what Christine did with her money was her own choice. Chris's pastoral counselor, Rocky Shoemaker, also learned of her ordeal, but instead of contacting the police, recommended that Chris be placed in an assisted living home. Null then drafted a report to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, since the extortion took place across state lines. Chris later printed and submitted the report herself to the sheriff's office, but evidently no action against the idea guys was ever taken.
Wow.
In addition, Null tried calling the parents of Joshua Wise and Stephen Boyd, but the two seemingly did not receive negative repercussions.
You get doxxed and they won't do shit about
As a result of the actions of Null, Marvin, and the captain, the idea guys ceased all communication with Christine, apart from 1 or 2 failed attempts to reconnect with her. The 3 members of the QE Farms, who soon became referred to as the Guard Dogs, effectively earned Christine's trust and began messaging with her on a near-daily basis. On April 27th, Brian Shickley, the artist who made the Christian prequel comic, announced a so-called mean art contest, asking his fans to draw him in unkind ways, with the meanest entry winning a prize of $50. Christine soon entered the competition with a drawing of Shickley's face, accompanied by a poem. Brian, the sexy Shrek-like vampire with messy hair. There is a unique charm that really gives you great flair. Come on over and tousle my quills, and maybe my shock therapy will cure your ills. One that brings out repressed urges. You are the man with the surges. Chris ultimately failed to make it to the final stage of the competition. Also, toward the end of April, Christine wrote several tweets replying to comedian Kevin James, complimenting his appearance. She then went to YouTube to like the music video for the Polish song Divine Ring by Pujan Band, solely consisting of clips and pictures of World's Strongest Man title holder and mixed martial artist Mariusz Pudzianowski. On April 29th, she wrote a series of tweets reassuring her followers that her situation had recently turned for the better and that she was thankful to the CPUs, or goddesses, of the Hyperdimension Neptunia games for her redemption. Brian Shickley then wrote to her to ask if she was attracted to him, to which she wrote, You are very attractive, Brian. I could kiss your good-looking face anytime. Close parentheses. On the final day of April, she publicly revealed that one of her 2 romantic partners was Chriselle Rosechew, who was previously unseen by the public. On May 1st, an unknown individual met Christine at the Anytime Fitness gym and took a photo of her. Later that day,
You know what? Good
Chris
on them
shared a
going to the
year-old
gym.
Facebook post of her attempt to repair her iconic polo shirt, known as the Classic. She revealed
The
that it had
Classic.
begun to fall apart again, with significant holes
Rufus?
appearing in the armpit region. In the comments section, a Facebook friend implied Chris was a monster because she had run someone over with her car. The friend was promptly blocked because of her insults. Chris then suggested that she should go to the gym and lose some weight. Another friend encouraged Chris to stay strong, calling her Chris, which Chris corrected to Christine. Another Facebook friend stated that her own mother's name was Christine and that some people called her Chris, showing the abbreviation was valid for both men and women. Chris elaborated that she did not mind so much by what name she was called and urged others online to respect her pronouns. Soon after, Christine blocked this friend as well for apparently reacting to the revelation of her running someone over with a laughing emoji, and suggested that she and her husband should
I
go
wish
to the
I was
gym
on Chris
and lose
Chan's
some
Facebook
weight.
back then.
On May 2nd, Chris expressed her distress at finding out her monthly earnings on the fan support site Patreon had suddenly diminished from $900 to $450. Later that day, she put up a signed Sonichu license plate on eBay for $350, which was quickly purchased. Around the same time, she bought an amiibo figure for $29, along with 2 other purchases which remained private.
I had a fucking
2 days later, she uploaded a YouTube video addressing her Patreon page.
Hello everybody, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again. Good morning. It's morning. And with my hair done in a bun. Anyway, I have something of importance to talk about right now. I wish to apologize sincerely for the lack of progress. But I am not at liberty to explain what happened over the last few months. But it's all being handled and that I'm back. And I'm going to do an exclusive Patreon-only 5-page plus comic about Magic-chan and Chriselle and I. So, it'll only be available to donators. So, let's get those pledges back high. And I'm ordering the books right now. I'm gonna have them rushed over here, and I'll have them all shipped out as soon as I get them. So, thank you all. Please put your pledges back up high, and I'll be able to do a whole lot more. I'm really sorry for all the lack of content and everything, and the delays. But we're all taking care of that, and I'm back. I have people. We're doing it. Yay! Thank you.
This,
have a good day.
80s sweatband.
Also on that day, an artist on Twitter pondered what would their original characters hypothetically say to them if, as Christine claimed, they were real. The artist revealed that they were not serious about the musing since they did not believe in the concept. Christine replied, writing, "They are real, and you can talk with them in psychic mind link.
So he's
About
arguing
every
with people
creator
that
and
his
artist with
characters are
characters
real
and
at
even
this point,
imaginary friends all
that they're in a
possess this
different
ability
dimension.
to communicate with them in the other worlds and dimensions. You can too. Open your mind and heart emoji. Anything is possible. Go beyond this world and reality." Brian Shickley joined in on the discussion, stating that Chris needed to see a doctor because healthy functioning humans did not see cartoons everywhere.
Well, technically,
Later,
there
in
could be
response to
another
Twitter
dimension
user
where
Tings criticizing Chris for
it's
failing to
cartoon
show
characters.
appreciation to her patrons, who continued to donate their money in spite of receiving nothing in return. Chris wrote that she did not
Yeah, he
mean to
should've
show
just kept drawing
unappreciation
pictures and selling
that
them,
she
to
was
be honest.
upset
I would've.
because she was hoping to use the funds to send out copies of Brian Shickley's Chris Chan prequel comic. Shickley himself replied, stating, "Please don't drag me into this.
They should've just
I've
kept
drawn your
selling photos
OCs
if
more
they were
than you
making
at
that
this
much.
point, and I don't make a percent of what you make for doing nothing." He added that if he were paid what Chris was, he would deliver double the promised number of Sonichu pages, but highlighted that he had no intention of doing so and wanted to separate himself from Chris Chan since he was being sent death threats, be it by those who liked Chris or hated her. Brian's girlfriend then interjected, asking Chris to stop sexualizing Shickley. Chris defended herself, clarifying that she was being playful and flirty, inspired by the Showtime Network TV series Polyamory. Also on that day, Ting Tings, who was part of the Quick Protect squad of Chris Chan fans, messaged Christine, telling her that she feared the QB Farms were about to reveal her personal information and wanted to move away from being so close to Chris's activities. On May 5th, Chris published a short comic depicting her supposed wedding to Krizzle Rosechu and Magichan Sonichu, publicly confirming her polyamorous marriage for the first time. Later on, she reflected on the hate she received on the previous day, wanting people to know that she was true-hearted and loving and not delusional and cartoony. She wrote that over the past 6 months, something bad happened to her, about which she could not specifically talk. As a result, the family's finances were in a very poor state and encouraged devoted fans of Sonichu and Rosechu to support her on Patreon so she could present them with new, great ideas. 2 days later, Christine wrote a string of tweets highlighting that she came to the conclusion that the Quick Protect squad was a mere collective of trolls and not her true friends. She pleaded to have some real friends in her life. A short while later, Quick Protect Squad member Little Amy Chan tweeted that the group had turned into Hurt and had disbanded. Chris used this opportunity to reveal that she had been banned from the Anytime Fitness gym, which resulted most likely from a combination of constant bothersome phone calls from Weens and her frequent belches and flatulations. On that same day, Christine wrote that her mother had slipped and fallen at home, but was ultimately not hurt, as some nondescript items broke her fall. On May 8th, Chris attended her hearing concerning her charge of trespassing in the Fashion Square Mall. Her case was given a continuance, with her next court appearance scheduled for June 5th. Soon after, Christine uploaded a video featuring her mother, Barbara, while in their car.
Everybody out there, buy things off of eBay.
Off of Christine's eBay.
Off of Christine's eBay.
I wonder if he was already fucking
Please.
sexually abusing her with this time.
When they returned home, Chris filmed another video by herself and quickly uploaded it onto YouTube.
Hello everybody, Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again, and the mortgage payment is really due tomorrow, and we have to make 2 month payments this month, and we need like $200, so please get on eBay,
Just draw,
buy
man.
the set, buy the stuff, buy the things off of eBay.
Did I try to come?
We need more money. And by the way, where did the money go from a bunch of previous sales recently? Oh, I caught up in the past 3 months of the Patreon books, and the rest of the money had to go towards the bills and everything.
Weird.
Okay,
I don't know what's going on with that. It's hit or miss.
We need more.
I had a video that had the download.
Buy stuff over the eBay.
The download
I gave you my mother. There is no
but some
excuse.
people recently
This
were
truth.
saying
This is not a lie. Bye now.
It's no longer working.
She then listed
Thank you for
in-person
stumbling on my
celebrity
channel.
visits from herself on eBay
We're watching
for
Chris
$500. Toward the end of the day, she made one more video asking for additional funds.
Please, everyone, help us. It's just the past 6 months. I can't talk about it, but the money we've been getting the past 6 months, we lost a whole bunch of money.
Right now he's e-bagging a lot.
If we don't pay this mortgage, they're gonna foreclose on our house.
Chris can't hold a job. He got fired
So
from Wendy's
please,
for doing a
help
Donald
us.
Duck voice on
I'm
somebody.
gonna add more listings later, but for now, please.
Should open an
Go on
OnlyFans, to be
my
honest.
eBay and buy everything that I have on there right now. Please help us, help us, help us.
In the aftermath of the Idea Guys saga, Christine was left in a dire financial situation. Desperate to meet obligations, she lashed out at her real-life surroundings, which all too often were unkind to her. unlike the interdimensional world she had come to accept through the idea guys. While they no longer actively influenced her, they imprinted onto her a seemingly tangible world where Chris had true control, influence,
Don't you
and
still
love.
gotta like distribute it
A magical
and stuff?
escape, too alluring to let go.
I gotta use the bathroom real quick before we continue to the next part, which is part 63. How many likes are we at? 22? We're not even at 30. That's unacceptable. Let's get them likes up real quick. I'm gonna use the bathroom, and hopefully we're at like 30 when we get back. Don't go anywhere. All right. We're back. Let's continue, baby. I had to pee terribly. Trying to drink a lot of fluids to get rid of this cough.
What made her this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan.
Yeah, why would I not dry my hands?
On May 9th, 2018, after updating to a newer model for free, Christine listed her old iPhone 6 on the online auction site eBay. The phone's wallpapers were fan-created art pieces of Magichan Sonichu and Sonichu, and the back of the device was personally signed by Chris. On May 10th, a forum user who privately messaged Chris confirmed that the Chandlers were able to gather the funds needed for 2 months' worth of mortgage payments. On that same day, she wrote a tweet on the social media site Twitter, targeting a member of the disbanded Quick Protect Squad group of Chris Chan supporters. Here's a special shout-out to @Little Amy Chan, the annoying troll who treated me like a stupid idiot and thought she could win my favor by direct messaging me fake sweet words of encouragement and fake voice messages. It's already been tried a gazillion times, sister. You lose!
Sister.
Amy responded, defending herself against accusations from other users, claiming that she only wanted to help Christine with her comics. Chris interjected, denying claims that Quick Protect Squad member Ting Tings was responsible for any of the harm she experienced over the past few months, confident in her assessment, since Chris felt she was a good judge of character. Chris then angrily engaged with several Twitter users who criticized her for allegedly mismanaging her finances and for wanting Chris to publicly acknowledge them. To one tweeter accusing her of becoming a villain before calling her Christofina, Chris replied, asterisk,
I don't think he blew
asterisk,
anybody for
asterisk,
50.
Christine, asterisk,
should've.
asterisk, asterisk. You fucking internet douche whore! I'm fucking mad! I'm sick of the hate! I'm sick of everything! You don't know what I'm going through! Another commenter supposed that the Christian activity archiving site, The Quickie, would have a field
It's
day
not that bad of a
cataloging
deal,
her recent
actually.
Twitter activities, to which Chris commented, Your mom is going to have a field day with your limp dick! After YouTube personality Count Dankula retweeted her latest rage-filled message, theorizing that her account had been hacked, Christine replied, saying she could not think straight when she was angry, and reflected that when her mind went blank, she could not remember what she ate for breakfast. She then announced it was nappy time. Chris later apologized to her followers for getting angry, confessing that her brain felt like the fireworks on the 4th of July, the Independence Day of the United States. She finally wished her followers a good night and warned everyone to behave themselves, lest they be
$50
blocked
for a
by her.
blowjob's not bad at all.
Chris
actually.
accompanied her Twitter tirade with a YouTube video in which she continues expressing her anger at trolls.
Hello everybody, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home, and I'm gonna tell y'all some real true shit. I'll tell you what, yes, it was me on Twitter. I'm sick of the trolls, I'm sick of the hate. Hey, God, the goddamn commentary that we're not tolerating freaking commentary anymore. I've been a sentimental individual. My father always told me to stick up for and stand up for myself, and he always did the same thing. You know he did. He told you all the address of this very house and our phone number. Gave you all, like, you know what? You want to come at us? You want to come at us? You come at us. Every morning. He was.
You okay, Chris?
And I just tired of constant day. Hatred! And
What are the days
like
now?
a certain person many years ago, my kindness, generosity, sentiment be taken advantage of will not be tolerated. And I will not tolerate any more hurtful comments or BS from any of you spiteful, hating people anymore. You better shape up, be kind, be courteous.
Sounds like he's doing a wrestling promo.
Also on that day, Chris delivered 2 paid video requests starring her mother, Barbara. Both were commissioned by the same individual who had previously paid for the short clip of Barbara dancing. In the first video, she wishes a happy birthday to Nicholas Cruz, the perpetrator of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting of 2018.
Damn.
Action.
Hello, my name is Barbara Chandler. I wish to wish Nicholas Cruz happy birthday.
Yay!
Please, buy Christine Chandler's merchandise to help us pay the mortgage. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And where do we buy this stuff from? My eBay.
Buy on eBay.
Yeah, link below. Thank you. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah.
No,
poor,
that's all.
Have a good
Poor
day.
Barb for
Thank
sure,
you.
man.
Have a good day. Why can't you say have a good day?
Have a good day.
Yay!
Next was a video dedication for Sandy Hook Elementary School shooter Adam Lanza.
My name is Barbara Chandler. I'm giving a shout out to Adam Lanzi.
Hands Jeez. Oh well. Cool.
Jeez.
On May 13th,
So the
to
trolls were making her
commemorate
buy
Mother's Day,
shout-outs to-
Christine tweeted her wishes to her fans and added that she allegedly received inspiration for new drawings from her family in Quickville and would be uploading them soon. She closed by notifying her followers that she gave her mother hugs and kisses and encouraged everyone to do the same.
A fucking elderly woman
she soon after posted a new drawing which depicted Sonichu, Rosechu, her real-world self, and her Quickville counterpart, who was touching her butt. Chris wrote that since Christine of Quickville couldn't exist without her, Christine was in a sense Christine's mother. She followed up with another drawing, which showed herself in her Christian Sonichu form, exclaiming that she loved herself as she held the hand of Christian Sonichu of Quickville. 2 days later, Christine changed her relationship status on Facebook to married, revealing that her partners were Magichan Sonichu and Crizel Rosechu, and hinted that the Pokemon Mewtwo may be joining them in the future. Chris highlighted that the relationship was appropriate since she herself was half Pokemon. On May 16th, she revealed on Patreon that she had printed copies of the Christian prequel comic made by Brian Shickley, signed and ready to be shipped out in a few weeks, but stated she would send them sooner if she received significant sales on eBay. Later on, she shared on Twitter a private video that was sent to her by little Amy Chan. Chris confessed that she suspected her to be a troll, while another Twitter user branded Christine a halfwit, because little Amy Chan was simply being kind and encouraging to her. Chris responded, saying that it was difficult for her to tell who was genuine anymore, since she had been beaten and abused by trolls and bullies for so long that she had to view everyone with suspicion for her own safety and peace of mind, and apologized if she happened to be wrong about little Amy Chan. During this time, Chris began aggressively addressing one Michael Hertz, who had made several Twitter accounts through which he constantly wrote demeaning and insulting tweets at her, up to 100 per day, according to Christine. She branded Hertz as slow in the mind and called for him to show real pictures of his ugly-ass face so that people would laugh at him. Not long after she blocked Hertz's account, he made others, which soon were blocked as well. On May 17th, Chris alerted her followers that her cat, Sorbet, had been missing for over a week after wandering away from her house. She had notified locals and posted flyers with her photos and description on telephone poles, but to no avail. She thus went online to increase awareness. A troll then contacted Christine with an alleged photo of Sorbet, claiming he had him in his home, when in fact it was a photoshopped picture. Upon learning of the deception, Chris called out the troll on Twitter.
Shit, I accidentally closed the fucking browser. The browser, like, fucking cut off. What the fuck, man? Give me a second. That was part... One minute. The browser just fucking closed.
The next day, Chris asked the official account representing the My Little Pony convention, BronyCon, if she could attend the event for free, because they all knew who she was, and was having difficulties in allotting funds for the convention, having purchased the standard level tickets, but wanting to upgrade to the VIP level. On May 19th, she returned to Patreon with new updates to her comic book, Sonichu issue 12-9, focusing on her pony counterpart, Nightstar. She then went to Twitter to apologize to her former friend, Megan Schroeder, and her brother, John, acknowledging that Chris had wronged them back then and hoped they would respond, since time heals all wounds, and she needed closure. Also
at the beginning, he had an actual therapist tell him that he was fine.
Who lived nearby, went with his friend to visit Christine and give her fan art he had drawn.
Properly diagnosed
She kissed both of them on the cheek, and they discussed making a video together in the near future.
It was like on one of the first episodes.
Later that day, Christine alerted her followers that her cat Polo was dying. She urged for someone to buy her old iPhone from eBay, and added that Polo was at death's door, wrapped in a towel, barely breathing and twitching, and if the cat didn't die by the following day, she would need more money to put it to sleep at the vet. The next day, Chris tweeted that Polo had passed away. The guard dogs, or conscientious members of the QB farms who frequently conversed with her, confirmed to inquisitive and critical farm members that Polo was between 15 and 20 years old and died from old age, denying accusations that he suffered neglect or abuse. Chris told a Twitter user that the cat was buried in the backyard next to her old dog,
person didn't
Patty.
really fucking pay attention.
Not long after, she continued reminding people of her old phone on eBay for $300, which she needed to sell to aid her dire financial situation. She added that she was willing to negotiate the price. Chris soon lowered the asking price to $250. Later, she posted a donation link on Twitter, writing that the family had no fresh food, fruits, vegetables, or raw meat, sustaining themselves on canned goods and an old bag of powdered milk alone. On May 23rd, Christine posted a new Sonichu page on Patreon in the hopes of attracting new patrons. Her longtime online acquaintance, Kenneth Engelhardt, suggested that she learn how to use digital and vector art software such as GIMP or Inkscape. Chris instead suggested that he learn how to draw. Kenneth responded with a sample of his own art depicting his original Sonichu offshoot characters, Sonichin and Rosechin. Toward the end of the day, she went back to Twitter to thank some generous individuals who donated gift cards for the grocery store Food Lion, in this way proving to the trolls that donations would be spent on food. Another user offered to order her a pizza or some other meal brought to her home via the food ordering and delivery platform Uber Eats. Chris scoffed at the thought of eating pizza, as it was junk food, and suggested the Twitter user buy her something healthier. The next day, Chris simply tweeted, "This is a test." Kenneth soon inquired about its meaning, to which Christine replied, stating that it was a test to see if he would respond to her tweet, since he had recently been over-engaging with her Twitter activities. Chris asked if he had a crush on her, and told him that her sweethearts, Magichan and Crizel, said they were not comfortable with him. Kenneth simply replied, "No." He later returned and wrote, "If you genuinely believe they are talking to you, or that you have sex with them,
no clue,
there's a term for that. It's called
when they get money, they buy other things.
Now go ahead and label me a troll, because I think you're having a psychotic break."
When they get money instead of actually spending it on the
Chris
stuff that
then
they
addressed
need.
recent happenings, alluding to the idea guys. "I want to clear a couple things up. First of all, it was not I, Christine Weston Chandler, offering services a few weeks back. Nor was it I apologizing for ruining fandoms and the like. While it was physically me, that is my physical form, behind the keyboard, I was being forced to write such things and make dishonest apologies. The people who did that to me know who they are, and their day is coming, and rightfully soon. I know you read this. Don't get too comfortable, jerks in the Bluegrass State or Golden State." She soon deleted these tweets and wrote in their place a more indirect message, stating that she was tired of being taken advantage of by every so-called ween who read about her on the internet, and was starting to fight back. She soon added another message, possibly as a response to Kenneth's previous tweet. "And one day, very soon, my family and I will be able to show ourselves to you all. Then you will be taking back your own schizo labels. Harumph."
Now you're being
On May
schizo.
26th, Christine asked for advice on Twitter, since the bulk of the yet unreleased Sonichu issue 16 was heavily influenced by the idea guys, and so greatly featured what Patreon would consider hate speech. She did not want to redraw issue 16 because she put in a lot of work into it, but at the same time did not want to risk offending anyone or getting her Patreon taken down. She soon after deleted these tweets. Kristen posted that she was thinking of ideas to deal with her troublesome financial situation and rejected calls from observers to get a job because she was certain her employers would be harassed by trolls until the end of Equestria.
That's why you don't let people know where you work.
She preferred to work from home. Also on that day,
people live in the
YouTuber
head, I
Kopitz
don't know, I
returned
lost
with some
count.
of his friends to pick up Chris and film an interview with her at a local cafe.
You probably know about the kiwi farms, right?
Yes.
Yeah. People probably replied to you on Twitter when you posted the picture of us that I posted it on kiwi farms. I didn't even know what the kiwi farms was. I just thought like it was a place to maybe brag about my experience, you know, because it was the first thing I thought of when I got home. But then I realized that wasn't such a good idea, and most of the people on the forums were telling me it wasn't a good idea either.
Yeah.
But you know,
I'll forgive you this time.
Thank you. What were you thinking when we came to your house? How often does that happen?
I feel like I want to see on average, maybe once every few months.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Fans or
We're almost at the end, man.
I'm not quite certain.
not sure. Maybe just people that live in the area and just want to meet an icon.
Yeah, kinda.
They later move on to discuss the game Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
You made that Animal Crossing video for your parents? I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
I remember people saying, I thought this was really cool. They said that you pioneered the Let's Play experience.
I did?
Yeah, because you did it. You recorded yourself. You're commentating over gameplay before basically anybody else did on the internet. So some people consider you to have pioneered Let's Playing.
Huh.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Okay, well that's news to me.
Yeah, I saw that on the. Do you know the Geno Samuel 2 documentaries? He's making this crazy, long, comprehensive documentary, and I'd say it's very objective. He's not making fun of you in any way.
That's
He's on
so
part
weird.
10, and they're each 40
this documentary
minutes,
is like
and he's only
actively
in like
going on
2008. So it's like he's getting everything in there.
As much as he can, right?
Yeah. How do you feel about it when people make like documentaries and stuff about you, but they're not?
See, when he's
making fun
interacting with
I just
people like
kinda
right
wish
there,
I
he
wasn't
seems normal.
more famous than
Just when there's a woman,
infamous
a female that gets around
for
him.
my good traits, but
Yeah.
I think they're all well noted, among which I have faith in the goodness of people. And that's discounting and discrediting the obvious bad ones.
Yeah. I got this picture right here where somebody swapped our mouths and made Eric's head really big. I'll put that up on screen.
I saw those.
Yeah, you saw it. You think that's funny?
That's silly, yeah.
So you worked at the Wendy's in Ruckersville for a while, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, what was your experience like there?
Kind of hit or miss, and I was still young. I felt like it just didn't quite suit me as well anyhow.
What's your opinion on Minions? How do you like Lee's Minion shirt he's wearing?
Oh yeah.
Minions is so funny.
He should have been a voice actor.
I'm not. So I've seen the first Despicable Me movie.
Yep, you've been let down by a lot of fake...
People have been faking the actual people, like Regis
Like
Phil
Nintendo?
Ime for one, yeah.
Yeah. Did you actually fly out to Washington?
No.
No, you didn't?
No. We didn't fall for that.
It was when you drove out to
Cleveland.
to Cleveland, and then it was that old worn down house, and
Yeah.
not what you expected. Not Julie.
This little old lady.
On May 28th, Christine went to Twitter to thank everyone for donating to the Chandlers and easing their financial strain. Afterwards, she revealed that a friend from Twitter had customized a collectible figurine produced by Funko to make it look like Sonichu and had sent it to Chris. Upon receiving it, Chris spent 5 hours making a custom box for it. She later added that she cataloged the Sonichu Funko Pop figure with the number 982, since it was allegedly Sonichu's number in the Pokédex collection of official Pokémon. Chris confronted an individual who disagreed with her statement, replying that there were over 1,000 registered Pokémon in the dimension in which Sonichu, Rosechu, and the other Pokémon characters truly existed. She then requested that some make plush dolls representing Nightstar and Cunt Nugget, the My Little Pony counterparts of herself and her lover. She later shared a new drawing titled Love is in the Air, which depicted Nightstar and Kun holding each other as they fly through the sky. The next day, Christine expressed her wish to either find someone who had her iconic classic polo shirt, or to have the manufacturer, Ralph Lauren, begin to reproduce it. Later
I
on,
wouldn't
a
trust
Twitter
Chris
user
to drive,
suggested
if I'm gonna
that
be
it would be
honest.
best if when drawing the comics, Chris should first draw the line art in pencil, and then trace over that with pen, since that way it would improve her art. Chris declined the advice because she liked drawing in pen and did not want to constantly sharpen pencils, and that if she made mistakes, she could simply redraw the page. In the final days of May, Joshua Moon, or Null, the administrator of the Kiwi Farms, bought Chris's old phone from eBay for $100. Null also received a personalized drawing depicting Nightstar, calling Null's pony persona handsome and cute. On June 3rd, Null notified Kiwi Farms readers that a famous YouTuber would soon interview Christine, and so asked members to provide any questions they would like to be included in the discussion. 2 days later, Chris attended the next scheduled court appearance regarding her trespassing charge at Charlottesville's Fashion Square shopping mall.
No, I wanted to do this.
With the next court date set on July 3rd. Later in the day, YouTuber Count Dankula conducted an online interview with Christine, which was live-streamed on YouTube.
Here we are. Chris Chan, it is amazing to actually finally be able to meet you. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you? Live on Space Coast, coast to coast.
Well, I've been trying to get this interview set up for quite a little while. You're someone that I have actually watched for a good number of years. Obviously, you know that a lot of the internet are very interested in you, so I'm going to do my best to make sure this interview isn't like all the other interviews you've had where the interviewers have been pretty lame and they haven't dove too much into you. So I'm going to try
see a podcast
go
of
into
Vince
areas
Gundam
that
and
some
Count
people may
Dankula
not have
talking
spoke
Chris
about.
Chan?
One of the main things that
I've never even
from what I've
watched
read and some
Count
of the things that I've
Dankula.
seen is that you believe Quickville itself is a completely real place.
It is a real place.
It is. Well, and all the characters within Quickville are also real.
Yes.
And one thing that I've heard as well is you believe that you actually can travel to Quickville.
Yes, I do believe so.
No, that's fine. So what is it that actually makes Quickville a real place?
Well, right now it exists in our dimension, and realistically, it's literally in northern part of Virginia.
So Quickville's in the northern part of Virginia.
Yeah.
So you can actually travel there.
Not in this world, but I have a way in which I'll be able to get there from this world to over there in that world.
How is it you actually travel there then? Just curious.
We're still working on getting the bugs out of it, among which I've astral projected there.
Is there any evidence that you have
I
that
believe in
proves
astral
that Quickville
projection.
is a real place?
People might think
I
that's
can show a
silly,
few
but
things
I
that
believe
I've
in
actually
astral
gotten
projection.
from there.
If you want to show them on stream, yeah, that'd be good.
I have an SQ ball, for one thing.
Did you get that from Quickville?
Yep.
That's interesting. That's amazing. So when you actually travel,
he's at
to
least
Quickville,
playing along with it.
what do you do while you're there?
I help watch over things. I help defend the city when need be, and I definitely see over the laws and things.
Right, because you're the mayor.
I'm pretty much the big leader. I'm the head honcho. I'm the creator and the chronicler.
Obviously, you created this place, so would essentially you'd be a little bit higher than the leader? Then wouldn't you be the god since you literally created this place?
No, I am not a god because the god creates everything. I only created a portion. I do not create all things.
No, that's fair enough. That's very humble. And so, what other worlds have you travelled to?
I've definitely been to Equestria.
You mean Equestria? Is that the My Little Pony one?
Yeah.
All right. So, what did you do when you were there?
Just pretty much diplomatic things.
So, do these other worlds, do they have like
this guy's like
diplomatic relations with each other? Then, do you sort of act as a diplomat between the worlds?
Among which, and an ally. I try to be as good a friend as I can be.
Are you going to any conventions or anything like that this year? Are you going to Comic-Con or anything?
Yeah, I'm going to BronyCon later this year.
That's cool. I'm probably going to Comic-Con myself.
BronyCon's quite close to home, just like pretty much a 2-hour drive from here.
Well, I'm all the way over in Scotland.
That's where you are. I thought your accent was quite genuine to be a Scottish accent, eh?
One thing as well is some people want to know, obviously, your famous medallion You know, it's one thing that is, yeah. Yes, he's the famous medallion. Is that actually a key to traveling at all?
It pretty much would be my key to my transforming between my Sonichu form and back. But really, moreover, it's not the physical medallion, but more my crest behind down my chest. That's this shape.
So is it a case of that sort of makes sure that if anybody else goes to Quickville, they can't transform into Sonichu, only you can?
It's a very select few. My father was half Sonichu.
Your father was half Sonichu as well?
Mr. C is, yes.
How does that work?
What about
How's
Barb,
he full
your mother?
Sonichu, but his father was
No,
half?
she's not.
She's not, so she's just 100% human?
Yeah.
Right, but your father was half Sonichu as well?
Yep.
Is there anybody else in this dimension who's half Sonichu that you know of?
Those that were born in this dimension, there were only 3 of us that were half Sonichu. That's me, my father, and Ted Bundy.
Did he say Ted Bundy?
Yeah.
The serial killer?
Mistaken for a serial killer, but
mistaken?
He was not.
Well, the Ted Bundy that was put on trial and stuff.
Yeah, so his Wikipedia page reads. That was not, but he was clear. But he was framed. That was a whole bunch of mistake in there. He was actually working undercover at the time.
So
That's
so
so
Ted
random
Bundy, the
that
guy
he
who
says
was,
Ted Bundy's
well, as you say,
half
falsely
Sonichu.
put on trial for being a serial killer.
Yeah.
He was half Sonichu.
Yep.
So did him being falsely put on trial have anything to do with the fact he was half Sonichu? Or was that just unfortunate circumstance?
It was just an unfortunate circumstance. I was a victim of circumstances.
Right. Fair enough.
Fucking weird. Ted Bundy.
As far
that was out of left field.
As things go, I think we've covered pretty much everything but there's no more questions rolling in and stuff like that. But I can let you wrap up the stream if you want just now. Is there any final message that you would like to get across to everyone?
Yeah. Don't bully people. Show some kindness and respect to others. Give them
What's up,
put
Apollo?
yourself in their shoes for a moment and
what year are they in? I think this is 2018 or so. Right now.
If somebody talked to you like that, would you feel good? Would you feel bad? And I would say, if it makes you feel bad, then I would just not do it. So be good, be respectful, be kind. Stop and think.
That's good. That's wholesome. That's a really good message. Thanks. It was good. It was really insightful. It was good to learn a bit more about yourself and also about the Quickville universe. And I really appreciate you for doing this for me, Chris. It's been amazing. But thank you very much.
Yep.
Excellent. Right. Thanks very much for coming, guys. Right. Cheers.
Thanks for the memory.
On June 9th, Christine purchased a newly released bundle of classic Sega games for the PlayStation 4 for $30. Soon after, she posted a new page from Sonichu issue 12-9 on her Patreon, revealing that Cunt Nugget's name had been changed to Kun Hanfu, prompted to do so by Null, who was annoyed by the crude pun injected by the idea guy Joshua Wise. Kun's new name instead directly translated to happy in Vietnamese. The next day, she bought 2 My Little Pony Funko Pop figurines for a total of $34. On June 12th, Chris listed and then quickly sold a set of original Pokemon cards he made in 2004, depicting her original Sonichu characters for $100. The next day, Chris notified her Twitter followers that all business inquiries should be sent to her new quickville.us domain email. This was established by Null in an effort to direct all trollsome and winsome correspondences to the new email managed by him, which would in turn clean up Chris's own personal inbox. In addition, this resulted in the so-called Operation King Snake, which consisted of Null posting on the QB forums, fuming emails directed at Chris, or messages hoping to initiate new trolling sagas, exposing the senders' email addresses and their identities if possible. Null typically ordered these wannabe trolls to commit suicide. Also on that day, Christine launched a crowdfunding page on the website GoFundMe with a goal of $400, which would allow her to attend the Too Many Games gaming convention.
Too Many Games. This is the Too Many Games that I did not go to.
Her plea was accompanied by a YouTube video posted that same day.
Hey everybody, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again, and today I'm here to make an announcement. Who wants to help me go to a gaming convention in Pennsylvania? Too Many Games.
He probably could have fucking just applied to be a fucking panelist.
I've been invited. I need the money though. Yes, I'll tell. I need help below here. So I set up a GoFundMe. Help me achieve a goal of $400 to pay for everything I need. And you can see me in a couple of weekends. Yeah! Now help me reach a goal of $400 by this weekend to make it a real guarantee to see me in Pennsylvania. Thank you all so much.
They probably could have legit been a panelist, got flown, or a hotel at least, if they applied.
This was soon followed by another video concerning her character, Nightstar.
So for those of you who don't know, yeah, that's Nightstar. Okay? And she can stand on her, she stands on all fours, she stands on her hind legs. She's my unicorn, she's my counterpart in Equestria. And she's definitely my counterpart, just like the Christine Chandler of Quickville. And we both, it's like the three of us, we do coexist. And you know, Nightstar can become human through Twilight's mirror.
A couple of times.
And as some of you should be aware by now, there are like 69 special Sonichus and Rosechus out of the thousands that came out of that chaotic rainbow on February 1st, 2003. And that's counting Sonichu and Rosie, and they both are the primes, and they both are the specials. They're 2 out of the 69.
She then describes the concept behind the transformation into Nightstar's Sonichu form.
But anyway, the point is, Nightstar is equal to me, just like Christine Chandler at Quickville. Alright? Counterpart, yo. Okay? And being being one of the specials, she's part of my family, part of our family.
They had cake parts, though.
And that is why, among which, aside from this being originally being intended as a kind love letter to the Brony community as well, my counterpart, and she's half Sonichu, Dimension Tripper, psychic powers. A whole lot of details. Overpowered? Yes, but there's so many damn powerful villains and everywhere. So anyway, very important.
Yeah, I remember seeing the clip, man. That's
everything that's happened
awesome.
in the question that's written in this book did happen. And I know for a fact, alongside Quickville,
of course, you're too much of a bitch to fucking try
in our
fuck.
sister dimension from this world. Okay? So Nightstar is very important. At least to me. Alright?
With the recent ousting of the Idea Guys came support in the form of Null and the other guard dogs, who did what they could to quell the abuse and negative attention that surrounded Christine. What they couldn't restrict, however, were Chris's own actions, which would undoubtedly, like many times before, attract many curious and unkind eyes.
Did y'all talk to Chan at all? Probably not. Part 64 next, guys. Smash the like. Let's fucking go. I don't say that for my own health. Smash the motherfucking like and let's continue this fucking journey, Chan.
What made her this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan. On June 13th,
Thank you, VJC. I
2018,
appreciate that.
Justin Silverman, a media producer connected to the gaming scene and event coordinator for the Too Many Games convention in Pennsylvania, emailed Christine, letting her know that he heard of her fundraising campaign to get to the convention. Silverman wrote that he could not offer her any booths to sell her merchandise and did not guarantee that she could take part in a panel discussion, but instead offered her a free guest badge for the event and the possibility of getting squeezed into a panel discussing so-called cringe culture. The following day, Chris uploaded 2 videos on YouTube, hoping to find technical assistance regarding her vintage home computer and gaming console, the Commodore 64.
As you can see right behind me, there's my Commodore 64 monitor, and there's my floppy and cassette drive with 2 joysticks, and here's my old BFF. I got just about everything needed to put this thing back into order once again, be able to play on it and everything, but there's a slight problem. Yeah, it needs some TLC. I tried to get it out, trying to fix it with a Lysol wipe.
Dude, I would have hung out with Chris Chan.
The AV output, this thing right here, yeah, it's...
No, 4chan doesn't mean anything to do with 4chan.
Okay, so that's the update. Oh, and also I'm not sure where it is, and I definitely need it, but I need the power cord for the floppy drive as well.
Dude, I want a Commodore 64.
I'm gonna check eBay for an inexpensive one. So, thank you all so much. Please, all responses to this video are to be sent to my email address, christine@cowickville.us. I'll put the link. I'll put the email address in the description below. Thank you.
Viewers on the Kiwi Farms noticed that in the video, they could see a drawing of Magichan and Crizel, Chris's supposed husband and wife, taped to the ceiling above her bed. In the second video, she delves more in depth regarding her problem.
Alright, power light comes on. As you can see, not much is happening up here. So, kind of stumped. Still need local help. It's probably something in the circuitry. I'm guessing, I don't know. I know squat about circuitry.
Squat.
Alright?
I don't know anything about circuitry.
So, requesting help locally from somebody in Charlottesville who's got the technological knowledge to, go inside and all the parts and figure out what the problem is. Because I love this old friend of mine, And
it's
also, reminder, please go to my GoFundMe page and
I want to say
help me on building up the funds I need to go to the Too Many Games convention up in Pennsylvania. I'm very serious about that. Thank you.
Null, the administrator of the Kiwi Farms and moderator of Chris's business email, relayed to her that she received many helpful emails, nearly all telling her that she was using the wrong cable.
Holy fuck, what?
After some advisement, Chris purchased a new TV monitor composite cable on eBay for $11.
Chan watched y'all? I don't know.
On June 16th, Chris notified her followers that her GoFundMe campaign for her trip to Too Many Games had reached $60 out of the $400 goal and encouraged more fans to contribute to the fund. At around the same time, YouTuber Gino Samuel 2, the creator of the Chris Chan A Comprehensive History documentary series, had his channel manually reviewed by YouTube moderators after applying for monetization, who found it violated anti-bullying guidelines of the site and so terminated his account. Fans of the series lashed out at Christine, falsely believing that she reported the videos, which caused the takedown. In an effort to quell the accusers, some other party, possibly Null, was granted access to her Twitter account to write a post denying she had any part in the takedown and wished for a swift recovery for Gino and his fanbase.
You know, maybe
his channel
maybe
remains
Chris Chan went to your
terminated
panel.
to this day. Also on June 16th, Christine shared a recent drawing she made to celebrate Pride Month, depicting 10 of her more prominent Sonichu characters, proclaiming in unison that those in the LGBTQ community were not alone. This picture, along with Chris herself, were briefly featured in a collaborative video project titled You Will Be Found, made by YouTube channel Scribbler Productions, which featured almost 100 members of the My Little Pony fandom, or bronies, showing their support for the LGBTQ
100
community.
bronies. Chris Chan better be at Retropalooza. I don't think Chris Chan's allowed to leave his county right now until after
On
his
June
court.
17th, to celebrate Father's Day, she commemorated the occasion with a tweet. Hashtag Happy Father's Day to each and every father in this world and in every single other dimension too. My father is alive again. I still love him, even in his checker-patterned glory. The message was accompanied by a drawing of Chris Chan Sonichu with her arm around the shoulders of her father's Sonichu form, Robert Chu Franklin Chandler Jr. The following day, Chris claimed that her mother found an old autographed photo of music artist Johnny Cash and gave consent to have it sold to help fund Chris's trip to Too Many Games. It was listed on eBay for $200. Soon after, she advertised her autographed photos on Twitter, which could be personally signed. A Twitter user offered to pay $75 for one if Chris wrote that it was for Julie, referencing
Julie.
Christian's oft-uttered pronunciation of Julie during the times he was masturbating to the troll-fabricated girlfriend in 2009. She soon listed a single,
Yeah, I made a
so-called
video about
limited
that,
edition
BJC.
printed photo of himself from around 2005, with the word Julie written on his forehead, claiming that this would be the only time she would personally write that quote-unquote darned meme word. The listing was in fact double the asking price that the previous Twitter user suggested. Chris soon brought down the price of the picture on eBay to $75 and was quickly
Not wrong,
sold.
Game Chasers.
One day before
Nobody
her trip
called it
to
out,
the gaming
though.
convention, Christine listed another item.
Oh, look.
A poster from the
I
Too
was
Many
marked
Games
out. What the
convention
fuck?
of 20.
Hold on a second. Was I supposed to originally be there? Because I was never invited out.
Convention of
I saw my
Twitter
name
user
on it.
suggested.
Somebody
Chris soon
X'd
brought
me
down
out.
the
Was
price
I?
of the picture
Because
on
I didn't go
eBay
to it. I wasn't asked to be out
and
there.
was
Was
quickly
I originally
sold.
going?
One day before her trip to
Look, right here. This has to be a different event. No, this was for a different year. Because JKB, myself, Game Chasers, Shane. Yeah, this had to have been a different year, dude.
the gaming convention, Christine listed another item, a poster from the Too Many Games convention
Look.
of
Dude, Jay's autograph is on the fucking poster that he
2015,
fucking sold off.
signed by a selection of YouTubers present at the time.
2015. Did I go to the 2015 Too Many Games? I don't remember that. Jay fucking signed
Time
Chris
for
Chan's
300
poster. Holy shit. Did I go to? I did. I was on the fucking
$2.
thing.
On June 22nd, Chris's
Fucking
GoFundMe
Shady J is part of Chris Chan
campaign
lore.
concluded, ultimately reaching
I wonder if they
$120 out of her $400 goal. In the morning, she began
No, Jay
her
wouldn't have
drive
crossed
to
my name,
Pennsylvania,
Elder Steven.
bringing with her a baseball bat for protection, and also one of 4 Sonichu standees she had made, allegedly representing Sonichu's real-life scale. When she arrived, she was greeted by Justin Silverman, who presented her with a special badge. He allegedly then warned her about her behavior at the convention and told her not to use her baseball bat and cause trouble. Also on the first day, Chris met up with YouTuber Jab50Yen, with whom she bonded. In between attending discussions, she would meet with fans and take photos with them, often strongly embracing them. She also kissed many attendees of all genders on their cheeks, some of whom went on to complain to the organizers and security at the convention. Chris was apparently given a warning in person, but it is not confirmed.
Kissing people without fucking asking?
On the second day, Christine donned her classic polo shirt, visibly in tatters. She messaged Null about meeting with a certain CJ, who Null was convinced was a troll, since CJ apparently told Chris that Surf Shack Tito, Jack Thaddeus, and Clyde Cash were also at the convention. Null discouraged Chris from meeting with CJ, after which point she avoided any talk of CJ whatsoever. Null later learned that CJ was in fact an alias for a group of friends wanting to help Chris sell merchandise, and the reference to the past trolls had been made by one of the group without informing the others. Ultimately, nothing transpired regarding their plan. Early on the 23rd, Christine went to a panel presented by Mike Pollock, voice actor for Sonic franchise villain Dr. Eggman, also known as Robotnik, and Kenny James, voice actor for Nintendo's Mario villain Bowser. Chris was selected to quote-unquote roast the voice actors or playfully insult them. A couple of attendees managed to film the interaction.
Oh, Mike, you're gonna make a dream of mine come true, because I've enjoyed every scene where Sonic got to insult Eggman, and I've got one that I came up with recently, and I just want Eggman's reaction, by the way. Oh, I'm a Sonichu. So in case you don't know, I'm creator of the original Yellow, but I transformed.
Or what if Chris Chan crossed my name out on that poster, because Chris Chan doesn't like me.
Eggman, let's talk for a moment. You like wordplay?
Because I was there that year.
All right. So, I got good music for you. Go back to call yourself Robotnik. Because don't work backwards. You say Eggman, I say, nah, I'm gay. Split it up a little bit further, it sounds like, nah, I'm gay. And at least Cantor sounds more sophisticated than that. So what do you have to say for you now?
Jeez, that's cringe.
Nah, gay?
Well, I believe William Shakespeare said it best when he said, "What's in the name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet."
Ah!
That's it, guys. Thanks for coming out, and have a nice time.
You know what? Yeah, I was at that one, because that's when we did the
Not
final
long
bosses
after,
reveal.
Upon receiving complaints from multiple attendees for
Yeah, I
being
was at
kissed
that one.
and hugged by her without permission, Christine was told by event security to leave
Well, not
the
that
convention.
one. Not
She
the one
had
that
an
Chris Chan
emotional
was at, but
breakdown
the
at
20
venue
the
and
2015
collapsed
one
to
I
the
was
floor,
at.
curling up in the fetal position, or what they later called hedgehog defensive state. She took her Sonichu standee and put it face down to mimic her actions. Chris lay on the ground and refused to respond to the staff. Jab 50N came to calmly explain to her the situation. A police officer also arrived to try and remove Chris. However, Jab 50N did his best to explain to the officer the reason for Chris's infamy and why it would be
That
unadvisable
guy right
to
there
publicly
was at
force her to
SoCal
leave,
Expo,
as the
that
scene
Jab
would quickly be
50N
spread
guy. I
around
think he was at
online
SoCal
with
this
the
year.
help of the Kiwi Farms and
Or
the
somebody
Quickie.
was.
After a short while, Linda, a mother of an autistic child, came to Chris's side to comfort her and defuse the situation. Chris eventually
So Billy
regained
witnessed all
composure
this, I
and
guess.
was escorted to the police office, where she was further calmed down by Linda, after which point she agreed to leave.
Why would they
On her way
send
back to
somebody
her
panicking
hotel, she stopped for lunch at Collegeville.
to the I wasn't there that year.
Arrived to
I wasn't there that year, Billy.
try and remove Chris. However, Jab 50N did his best to explain to the officer the reason for Chris's
No,
infamy
I wasn't there
and
that
why
year.
it
I
would
was in
be
California.
unadvisable to publicly force her to leave, as the scene would quickly be spread around online with the help of the Kiwi Farms and the Quickie. After a short while, Linda, a mother of an autistic child, came to Chris's side to comfort her and defuse the situation. Chris eventually regained composure and was escorted to the police office, where she was further calmed down by Linda, after which point she agreed to leave. On her way back to her hotel, she stopped for lunch at Collegeville Italian Bakery to eat some pizza,
Damn, that pizza looks
commenting on
good.
Twitter that the establishment was made 20% cooler because of her presence. Chris then suggested that they make a new pizza called the Sonichu Zap, featuring yellow peppers. In the evening,
Sup, Dina?
Christine, or likely Null, went to Twitter to apologize to the staff of Too Many
No worries,
Games
thanks for being
and
here.
jab 50 yen, and noted that to Chris's understanding, she did not receive a warning in person, and only got one in the form of a Facebook message, which she did not notice until after she was asked to leave. On June 24th, Keemstar, a YouTuber known for his coverage of internet pop culture and drama, asked Chris to direct message her, hoping to feature her in a future video, but one never materialized. Later that day, Christine returned home and wrote a string of tweets regarding the incident
I'll get pizza
at
tomorrow.
Too Many Games.
I got a...
One question.
I want a
What is
random
wrong with
pizza
this
giveaway
world?
from Keemstar
A peck on
yesterday,
the cheek
speaking
from
of.
a celebrity that one likes, positively mind you, is not offensive to me. What really ticks me off is that any displays of likes and affection is viewed as taboo and more offensive than bloody, gory violence. And how do I feel after all of the love and positivity I had been finding and giving back and sharing around?
Nice.
It all turned around against
Those
me
hit
in one
differently,
felt
don't
swoop.
they?
I feel emotionally hung over and like a load of crap. I'm going to tell all of you hater trolls something right now. I will remain optimistic and open-hearted, and I am not going to fail. I have the love of my real, positive, and kind people and fans, and I have the love of my partners, Magichan, Crizel, Sylvana, and Mewtwo. Here, they are right here with me, and they directly, offline, communicate with me always. And more importantly, I love them all, and they love me truly. This is real. When a Twitter user told her that she got in trouble because she hugged and kissed people without their permission, Chris clarified that everyone she met had the option to keep at arm's length or push away, but none did, and simply returned her hugs out of kindness and love. She then shared the drawing she began working on, which depicted an embellished version of her exchange with the voice actor of Dr. Eggman, with Christian Sonichu replacing Christine in referring to the villain as Nam-gay, and Eggman confessing that he is asexual, with Bowser off to the side laughing because Christian Sonichu called him gay. On June 25th, she listed one of her Sonichu standees on the online marketplace website, Mercury, for $300. On the 26th, Null had a conversation with Christine via text messaging regarding her behavior at Too Many Games. He warned her that her actions may cause her to get preemptively banned from the My Little Pony convention, BronyCon, and if she continued to act the way she did, she could get banned from conventions worldwide, or even get charged with sexual assault. Chris wrote that she understood the situation and planned to keep her lips sealed before telling Null of her communications with the CPU goddesses from the anime and game series Hyperdimension Neptunia, which he completely ignored. On June 27th, Justin Silverman got in touch with QB Farms user and Quickie moderator Rosticus, denying claims that Chris had been promised a merchandise booth and panel discussion, and stressed that he did warn her about her conduct in person. Upon seeing his posts, Christine responded to Silverman on Twitter, refuting his claims that he warned her in person. Silverman himself quickly replied, confirming that he warned Chris in person and received word from security that they had warned her as well. He then questioned why she tweeted the accusatory message after liking several of Silverman's Facebook posts. Chris wrote that her liking his posts had nothing to do with what happened at Too Many Games, and clarified that she had been warned against using her baseball bat and received no word against kissing attendees. She added that Justin should have brought her aside and told her in person, but since he didn't, he epic failed at his job, earning an under-mediocre rating of 2 out of 5.
I'm texting
Not long
Silverman
after,
right now.
Christine wrote several tweets admitting that she realized opening herself more to others was a bad thing for some individuals, and promised to keep her lips to herself from then on, and only would kiss someone on the cheek if so requested. As a result of her behavior at the convention, she was reported to the staff of BronyCon, who took note of her past activity and encouraged all attendees to be cautious, but decided not to ban Chris from the event. On June 29th, Chris unveiled a new character which she conceived a few days prior. Scarlett, the CPU goddess of the Commodore consoles and the nation of Comma, who represented the Commodore 64 game console, inspired by the Hyperdimension Neptunia game and anime universe. She added that the notes were written whether or not people believed her.
That's what I'm trying to do, at least in the chat.
Quote-unquote shit was real.
Well, like Christian kissed
On the
me
final day
on
of
the
June,
cheek.
Chris complained about the casting of actor and comedian Jim Carrey as the villain Robotnik in the upcoming motion picture adaptation of Sonic the Hedgehog, falsely assuming that the movie would be animated, and criticized Carrey's voice acting prowess. She further added that the movie would be inferior in quality, like the past game and TV series Sonic Boom, and claimed she would protest to demand the movie be made better. Later on, she elaborated on her newfound appreciation for an old catchphrase of hers. I want to make
Zap
a note.
it up to the extreme.
After some time, I'd thought zap to the extreme to be trite sounding, but more recently, I have literally been feeling more and more of the electricity inside myself. Not killing myself, mind you, but I dare say now, let's all zap it up to the extreme! On July 1st, Christine noticed that Jab50Yen was answering fan questions on Twitter, and regarding Chris's odor at the convention, he clarified that contrary to popular belief, she did not smell bad. Chris added that she showered nightly and thoroughly for around 10 minutes, utilizing soap, water, shampoo, and conditioner, and applied deodorant every morning. The next day, Chris received a fan-made plush doll of her original My Little Pony-inspired character, Nightstar. On the 2nd, she wrote a long string of tweets explaining the backstory of her recently created CPU Scarlett, claiming that she had passed away in 1994, and her spirit was entombed in a Commodore 64 that was currently in the ownership of a woman in the dimension of the real world, and would manifest herself soon. On July 3rd, she attended her scheduled court appearance regarding her trespassing charge in the Fashion Square shopping mall in Charlottesville, Virginia. It was given another continuance, this time for a date only 3 days away. Upon returning home, she went to Twitter to excitedly write that she uncovered her collection of vintage game discs for the Commodore 64 and posted photos of her collection. The next day, to commemorate the Independence Day of the United States, Chris posted a photo of herself giving a salute while wearing her classic striped polo shirt, visibly torn and falling apart. She then tagged the official account for Ralph Lauren, the original makers of the shirt, and asked if they could begin to reproduce the unit once more or to restore the one she owned. On July 6th, Christine's trespassing case was finalized. She was not given any fine, but instead was placed on the therapeutic docket, a program offering routine meetings with courthouse staff and mandatory therapy sessions for those with severe or persistent mental illness as an alternative to jail time. After she returned home, she lowered the price of the signed Too Many Games poster up for sale on eBay from $299 to $200.
Look, that's a different
She also added her own name to the array.
It's the same poster, but it's different autographs on it. Look at that. It's different autographs. Like Jay's was on here. So I'm thinking that the first image they used was something that they just Google imaged.
$199 to $200.
So maybe
she also
Jay
added
didn't
her
sign
own name
Christian's
to the array
poster.
of YouTuber signatures. Notably, in the item's description, she suffixed her name with Sonichu, possibly alluding to her supposed marriage to Magi-chan Sonichu. Also, by this date, Chris had earned around $550 from sales of her autographed photos on eBay. She then purchased a Sega Genesis game console from the auction site for a price of $40, a Commodore 64 game for $13, and finally, another Commodore 64 computer for $150. On July 9th, Lucas, a member of a group of teenagers with whom Chris met up on occasion, asked for advice on Twitter regarding his case of writer's block. Christine wrote that it may be beneficial for him to mind link and enter into the story he was writing and meet with the characters. On July 10th, Chris introduced a new item on her eBay store, a replica poster depicting his original attraction sign used during his love quest in 2003, on sale for $60. Users of the Kiwi Farms noted that Chris had altered the poster with what they assumed to be Microsoft Paint and replaced the small text with a typed version, while also removing a warning singling out marrieds and blacks,
So
and
he
adding a
edited the
disclaimer at the
original.
bottom to state that the use of the poster was purely for entertainment and should not be used to elicit solicitations. Later that day, a transgender woman on Twitter wrote that trans women were not told or warned about getting periods, which amounted to periods of moodiness, cramps, and sadness. Chris replied, stating that she felt some of her period that very day. On July
God,
11th,
Chris, you
Chris
get a
notified her
period.
Twitter followers that her plans to stay with friends in a hotel during her trip to BronyCon had collapsed, and so urged for someone to help fund her stay there by purchasing her Too Many Games poster on eBay. At around this time, Null text messaged Christine to encourage her to talk with her court-appointed therapist and get the
20 minutes,
police
the mortgage will
involved
be
in investigating
2
the
months
extortion
behind,
carried
yeah.
out by the Idea Guys, Joshua Wise, and Stephen Boyd. The
Makes a lot of
therapist
money
was
selling
allegedly
shit, and then
aware
he
of her
fucking
purported spouses,
still owes money.
Magichan
It's
and
so weird.
Crizel, but she was cautious about talking about the Idea Guys and her reality stone, which she elaborated was contained within her and was the same in concept as the plot device used in the Marvel comic book series Infinity
Freaking
Wars.
world, man.
Apparently, Magichan had informed her that the stone should be used together with her amethyst high school ring, which was a fragment of a reality stone, as originally told by Kiwi Farms user, the Captain, to undo the damage Wise and Boyd had done unto their dimension. Also, at around this time, Chris met up once more with Lucas and his friend Devil in Lucas's home while his parents were away. When she arrived there, Chris presented them with original drawings, and in return, she was given marijuana to smoke. While high, Lucas recorded a video which apparently shows Christine deeply kissing what she believed to be her wife, Crizel Rosechew, invisible to all observers.
Thank you.
Making out with an invisible...
At a later point, Lucas revealed via private messages that Chris smelled like cat urine and had confessed to wanting to have sex with her mother. In addition, she
Jesus
allegedly
Christ.
had little understanding of personal space and would excessively hug, nuzzle against, and kiss them randomly. On July 12th, a Twitter user who had purchased a signed and framed photo from Christine received their package to find that the glass of the frame had broken inside the envelope, blaming Chris for her poor packaging. She wrote that it was not her fault, as she clearly labeled the bubble envelope with the warnings, fragile, and handle with care, supposing either the receiver was being trollish or the post office was responsible for the damage. On the 14th, Christine listed a handmade blanket
they were encouraging
found by
the
her mother
invisible...
Barbara for sale on eBay for $200. The item was introduced by Barbara in a YouTube video posted that same day.
My name is Barbara Chandler. I'm asking you to buy this blanket from me. Recently, I have been working really hard clearing
I feel
out
bad for his mother.
the things that they moved into the house 3.5 years ago. I had a lot of trash to put out, and I had to pay the trash people a lot of money to take my trash Friday. So I'm asking you to please
Yeah, she's so gone.
help by buying this blanket, because I'm low on funds and we need help. Thank you for buying this blanket. I appreciate it.
The blanket was soon sold to a willing buyer. On July 16th, Christine informed her followers that her amethyst high school ring, which had been purchased by Kiwi Farms user The Captain in April, had been returned to her possession after paying him back the original cost of $200 plus shipping. The next day, she expressed that she was glad that she did not have to go to the fashion square anymore because it no longer featured toy, video, or bookstores and only sold clothes and crap. On July 18th, Chris posted a YouTube video in which she asks for help regarding her overheating car. By this point, she began regularly donning a toy tiara modeled after those worn by characters of the anime Sailor Moon.
Hello everybody, it's Christine Chandler coming to you live from my car right now. I'm stopped right now, but my car has been acting up lately. It's been going towards the heat.
The heat.
There's things wrong with the antifreeze coolant thing.
No, I did have a con bug,
there's like
but
a couple of
it's
leaks
going
there.
away.
I
I
just
have
had this car worked on that, but they couldn't patch all the leaks, but now it's getting
for whatever
worse.
reason, I just
so
started
yeah, please do me the
nauseous,
big favor. Buy my big price items so I can get this car totally patched up so I can get to BronyCon and all that. Yeah, big price items. Please, please buy those now so I can get this car worked on today.
Chris Chan will do that. Yeah, Chris Chan got me
According to
sick.
the captain, Chris then began text messaging all liable contacts for extra money. On that same day, she dropped off the car at a mechanic as an emergency case, meaning she would have to raise funds and pay for the maintenance after the issue was taken care of.
Hope it passes. Yeah,
the next day, a certain Miss Cherry, a trans woman in Australia, pledged more than $500 per month to Christine's Patreon page, boasting in the comments section that she was paying a lot more than others to be her new sweetheart and #1 fan, and was confident an update was forthcoming on Chris's YouTube channel. Chris herself appeared to reply to her, thanking Miss Cherry for her patronage, but rejecting her offer of becoming Chris's new lover. Refusing to accept her rejection, Miss Cherry then increased her pledge amount to $1,000. They commenced a private conversation while messaging on Patreon, during which they discussed Christine's polyamorous marriage, revealing that she had allegedly also gotten married to her original character, Sylvana Rosechew, and the Pokemon Mewtwo. They also talked about sex reassignment surgery, with Chris writing that she wanted to cut off her penis. Miss Cherry added that she had not yet had the surgery either because it cost a lot of money to get it done professionally. Chris wrote to her that she hated her penis and allegedly had not masturbated since 2011. On July 20th, Chris completed drawing and coloring her comic, Sonichu issue 12-9, solely focused on her My Little Pony inspired character, Nightstar. The story begins with Nightstar narrating her life starting from her birth, sharing the same birth date as Christine. She reveals that she has a bit of the autism, and when she was younger, learned that she shared a psychic mind link with Christopher Weston Chandler in another dimension, with whom she sympathized and connected. Her life mirrored Christian's in many ways, including her penchant for drawing and traveling through different dimensions. He has quite the imagination,
doesn't he?
Nightstar also developed heterochromia by getting some slime into one eye during an experiment, causing it to change color. Years later, while in Canterlot High School, set in the human dimension of My Little Pony's Equestria, Nightstar, while in human form, meets with Christine Chandler for the first time. Nightstar plants her own unique identifying cutie mark onto Christine, which turns her into a human version of a pony as well. After encouragement from Nightstar, Chris initiates a conversation with a woman named Diamond Melody, Nightstar's sweetheart back in Equestria. Nightstar then relates the story of how she and Diamond Melody first met, and later went on a date in Quickville. While traveling to that dimension, they both changed into their human forms, with Melody experiencing the transformation for the first time. They had a pleasant day in Quickville, and then consummated their love in Christine's bed. They had further dates together, but unfortunately, Diamond Melody's human counterparts, both in Quickville and in the real world, turned out to be trolls toying with Christine, named Jessica Quick, referencing the troll Jessica Quinn. Melody felt guilty and ashamed by association and left Nightstar, who cried for a week or two. In a later story, Nightstar meets her true sweetheart, Kan Han-fu, with whom she helped win a battle in Quickville. After some time, the two moved in together. Towards the end of the book, Nightstar telepathically asks Christine if she could come help her complete her comic book. Chris inserted photos of herself, showcasing her opening up a portal into Equestria and coming out the other side as a pony. Nightstar and Chris then both transform into their respective Sonichu forms and wish away the readers, foretelling that the next issue of Sonichu would be a return to normality. The back page of the comic was one of 3 commissions from Chris, made by artist Feathershine, depicting Nightstar and Kunhan nuzzling. On July 21st, writer Shonan Maguire, who was briefly involved with Marvel Comics, wrote on Twitter of the impact a certain issue of Spider-Man had on her. In it, she referred to the superhero as one belonging to Earth 616, which was one of many versions of Earth contained within the multiverse of Marvel stories. Christine asked her if she knew the categorization number given to the Earth which they realistically inhabited. Maguire told Chris the real world was named as Earth 1218 when referenced in the Marvel comics. Chris delightedly thanked her for the information and asked if they could discuss the matter further through private messaging. Maguire declined the offer as she was at an event at the time, and Christine asked if she could direct her to another creator or chronicler with strong understanding of other dimensions so she could learn more about the topic. Another Twitter user informed the writer that Chris used her answer to further instill the belief of a multiverse existing in reality and encouraged her to clarify that the concept of different versions of Earth was entirely
Chris
fictional.
Chan was ahead of their time.
Maguire replied,
all the
confirming that the Earth 1218
bullshit.
designation was a fictional concept reserved for the Marvel Universe, and apologized if her words were misleading. Chris did not respond to this reply. On July 22nd, Christine went to Facebook to defend her beliefs. I am only going to say this once for those who may think me as delusional, crazy, or shit like that. I'm not delusional, crazy, or anything of the sort. I have my own magic powers that I'm still learning about for myself from my family and allies. I've already talked with psychiatrists and therapists years ago, so any new such meetings would be a very moot point. Also, I have been on anxiety and blood pressure meds for many years, and I have always been down to earth. And I still see my Sonichus and Rosechus and all else from our sister dimension when they are here. Not to mention my electrifying powers and my quills, tail and ears of my Sonichu form literally on and attached to me and in feeling. Therefore, they all are real, and you may tell everyone that. And I do not wish to have to repeat myself on that. And I really do not like being mislabeled as delusional or shit like that. Plus, I have friends of our Earth 1218 here who have been to our sister dimension and experienced that world for themselves. Thank you. On the 23rd, Chris alerted her followers that her bill from her car mechanic was $850 and thanked Miss Cherry for her generous donation, calling her by her full name. Chris clarified that even though Miss Cherry felt very strongly about her, it was too soon to initiate any sort of relationship.
Miss Cherry?
At around this point, Miss Cherry went to the Kiwi Farms to boast about becoming close to Christine. In the aftermath of her arrival, she was ridiculed and her private information was partially revealed. She soon after ended her monthly pledges to Chris's Patreon and stopped talking to her. On July 24th, Chris wrote that her car would be fixed in time for her trip to BronyCon, thanking her fans for their help and kindness. The next day, an eBay user who had purchased several things from Chris in the recent past left a critical comment upon receiving the Too Many Games signed poster purchased for $200, writing that it had come folded and wrinkled due to poor packaging. However, they still left Chris a positive rating. On July 26th, Christine drove herself to Baltimore, Maryland, a day before the commencement of the BronyCon convention. While she stated her own car would be ready in time, she instead took her mother's Dodge Caravan.
Did I see
in
that?
Baltimore.
What do you mean? Oh.
Patreon,
yeah,
as
had
Chris
your
wrote
names.
that her
Game
car would
Chasers
be
and
fixed in time for
Alpha
her trip to
Megastin and all
BronyCon,
that.
thanking her fans for their help and kindness. The next day, an eBay user who had purchased several things from Chris in the recent past, left a critical comment upon receiving the Too Many Games signed poster purchased for $200.
Look at that. Billy and Jay and Alpha Megasin signed Chris Chan's
writing
poster.
that it had come folded and wrinkled due to poor packaging. However, they still left Chris a positive rating. On July 26th, Christine drove herself to Baltimore, Maryland, a day before the commencement of the BronyCon convention. While she stated her own car would be ready in time, she instead took her mother's Dodge Caravan. In Baltimore, she met up with Jay Hart, a fan and Kiwi Farms user, and received her personal BronyCon badge. Afterwards, they drove to have dinner. Possibly on the way, while stopped in traffic, a squeegee man offered to wash the car's windshield. Chris obliged and paid the squeegee man $2 and gave him her business card after briefly chatting.
Okay. This is a common problem in Maryland.
Give me a couple of bucks.
In Baltimore, it's a huge deal.
Just served a celebrity, by the way. Thank you. Yo, me. I'm the celeb. Oh, look me up on the internet when you get a chance. Have a good day. Thank you.
You said what's your name is?
Christine Chandler.
Christine Chandler. Like what you do?
Sonichu and Roach. I've been doing the books for more than almost 2 decades.
So you be at this convention center?
Yeah, I'm gonna be going to the BronyCon.
You be at the convention center?
Yeah, I'll be there. See you later.
Is he Ubering people?
In the morning of the 27th, Christine recorded a video addressing any fans she may possibly meet.
What's up, my bronies and bigger sister peeps? This is Christine Chandler coming to you live from Baltimore, Maryland, and I got my ears and horn from last year on these pair of wings. I'll get a pair in a little while. Later on, So, come say hi. Selfies, hugs, no chat free, just, don't harass me or anything. Be kind. Follow the rules. Okay? I'm certainly going to follow the rules. I learned my lesson from past experiences that I'm not going to go into liberty and talk about. So, enjoy BronyCon and I'll see you around.
From then on, she entered the convention center, where she fairly frequently met up with fans and took selfies with them. On the first day, she attended a signing event with the chance to meet My Little Pony voice actress Tabitha St. Germain, who had blocked Christine on Twitter in August of the previous year. While waiting in line, Chris made a short video.
Right now I'm waiting in line to get Tabitha St. Germain's autograph, so nobody interrupt me there. And my feet gave out, so I'm standing on my knees. I did get a few good pictures here and there of my meet and greets with my fans.
Chris Chan's fucking awesome.
So, anyway, that's my story right now. Checking again later.
Except fucking...
After meeting with St. Germain, they took a photo together and apparently had a nice chat. Some users on the Kiwi Farms reported that Chris was allegedly surrounded by people that prevented others from getting too close to her without her permission. They were also wary of falsified reports coming from the image board 4chan, who were attempting to spread rumors of Chris being inappropriate with convention goers and force her to get kicked out. Christine kept in touch with the captain and let him know that she did not have any trouble and was having a good time. On the second day, Chris planned to meet with female-to-male transgender MLP fandom voice actor No Whacking, who had blocked Chris on Twitter the previous year, and present to him gifts of a doll depicting My Little Pony character DJ Pone 3, which he voiced in fan productions, and a drawing showing the meeting between hers and No Whacking's original MLP characters. The meeting didn't go as planned, and in its aftermath, she went to Twitter to recount the experience.
Damn.
Okay, venting time. He pushed me away, and I had a drawing and a present. He remembered blocking me on Twitter like months ago. What is his problem with me nowadays? He closed himself off from me, did not even stop to tell me why. I feel devastated. I feel upset. Tears are welling a bit. Why? Awesome and inspirational as he is, he can be a dick, apparently. Who knew? I guess it is the aloof, cold dude in him. She soon met up with Jay Hart and explained what happened. Christine wanted Jay to pass the gifts to No Whacking, thinking he might accept them coming from a different person, but he refused and asked Chris to delete her tweets since they may be used as a reason to report her to convention staff. She complied and quickly deleted the most recent tweet in the thread. Afterwards, she was surprised by a convention goer cosplaying as Sonichu, and they took a photo together. Later on, she attended the Riffing Rainbow panel, which encouraged attendees to try to read through a work of poor fanfiction exactly as it was written, accurately reproducing all the spelling mistakes and grammatical errors. The person who could continue reciting a segment of the work exactly for the longest time would win a DVD of the movie Paul Blart Mall Cop.
I like that movie.
Chris was the second contestant to enter the challenge.
And just so everyone knows, I'm Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, and I am the creator of Sonichu and Roastu in the nation of Quickville. So let's do this bad fan fiction.
Okay.
And Spike commented over to her, "What do you want, Twilight?" Spike said, and Twilight said, "I need you to get me the Book of Magic." He gave it the book to Twilight, and she said,
Thank you, Spike. Go away now.
Twilight,
Good.
open the book to chapter 5.
It is book.
Okay, you got it.
But that is a nice time of 47.6 seconds.
Chris ultimately did not win the contest. Afterwards, a convention attendee on Twitter wrote that they were at a panel sitting next to Christine, who began conversing with a voice actor about being connected to a sister dimension. Towards the end of the day, Chris was refused entry into the Grand Galloping Gala, a formal dance party which required attendees to adhere to a strict dress code, to which she did not. During this time, Michael Hertz, a known Christian hater, began spreading rumors on Twitter of Chris exposing herself to a woman in a bathroom to get her removed from BronyCon. Hertz's attempts did not lead to trouble for Christine, but Null warned her if convention security approached her to ask about the matter, she should stay calm and honestly answer their questions. On the third and final day, Chris took more pictures with her fans and attended panels and events without anything of note occurring. After BronyCon concluded, she wrote a commemorative tweet, thanking everyone for the good time she had, and looked forward to the following year's convention, which was announced to be their last. After packing up her things, Christine made her way back to the car, and began her trip back home, back to reality, and back to troubles.
Man. Smash the like, guys, if you haven't smashed it yet. Let's go on. We're going to be at part 65 out of 75 or 76, I think. So we're in the final countdown. Fuck it. Right? It's starting to get a little interesting. We're starting to get Chan out in the world.
What made her this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan. On July 29th, 2018, as Christine was on her way back home from attending the My Little Pony-themed BronyCon convention, her mother's 2002 Dodge Caravan that she was driving broke down at a Sheetz gas station in Bealton, Virginia, a couple of hours from home. She posted of her troubles on Twitter, letting her followers know that she followed troubleshooting steps, but to no avail. She also text messaged Kiwi Farms user The Captain about her predicament, informing him that she had less than $20 between all of her financial accounts, which would make calling a tow truck near impossible. The Captain was then granted access to Chris's Twitter account to write that her insurance company, State Farm, would cover $100 in tow truck costs, but she still required another $100 in personal funds, and so encouraged followers to donate to her PayPal account. After receiving enough donations, the captain returned to Twitter to post that a tow truck was on its way to pick up Chris and the car, and that Chris's mother, Barbara, was not angry, but rather sad and worried for her safety. While waiting, Chris posted a video on Twitter showing her pacing around the car as she waits for the tow truck.
Yep, this is me, killing time, waiting for the tow truck. They'll be here in less than an hour. And what am I doing? I'm walking. I'm walking. I'm walking. I'm walking around the van, around and around the van.
As Chris was waiting and pacing, the captain confirmed that the gas station received several troll phone calls accusing Chris of begging instead of being stranded.
I'm surprised he didn't try
In
to
the
fuck
early
that girl.
hours of July 30th, the tow truck picked up Chris and her mother's car, and upon arriving home, Christine wrote that she was back home safely, and as a bonus, Barbara had cleaned up her bedroom while she was away, doing a quote-unquote good service. However, as revealed in a later text message sent to her teenage friends Lucas and Devil, Chris's mother threw out many of her possessions without consulting her beforehand, such as some of her favorite VHS tapes, which made Chris think that Barbara wanted to subconsciously force her to leave the house. In addition, Christine discovered her mother had thrown out her classic striped polo shirt.
Not the classic.
The iconic striped Ralph Lauren rugby shirt of mine is misplaced, and we're looking, and my mother is trying to remember where she saw it. I fear she had trashed it by mistake, but Magi-chan informs me that the shirt is still here in the house somewhere. There were a number of full trash bags outside. I just went through the 5 we brought back in after I got back home. I, like I foresaw, felt very frustrated and upset. So I showed her what I recovered and told her how I felt. And, with her watching, I yelled at a body pillow, pretending it was her. I pretended I had my iconic shirt in hand, and I slapped, punched, and even humped, then tossed the pillow towards the head of my bed. Then, with that as her punishment for that reckless good intention misdeed, I forgave her for that whole mess. But I still miss my shirt, holes and all. So, that is why I'm very interested in contacting Ralph Lauren to reproduce the shirt and make 3 of them for me. And, right now, I'm looking on eBay for the same shirt. Sigh. On July 30th, as both of the Chandlers' vehicles were being repaired, Christine walked 4 miles to the post office to send out a selection of items bought by her supposed fans on eBay. She posted a series of videos on Twitter documenting the event.
I'm walking, you and me, I'm walking, I'm walking, yes indeed I'm walking, you and me, I'm walking,
It's a catchy little jingle.
Walking, you get to enjoy the scenery more than just driving on by. Spoiled children.
After a while, she got to the post office and made another update video.
Hey everybody, guess what? I made it to the post office about 4:15 p.m. It started raining when I was halfway through, but I made it. I'm wet, but I'm alive. I'm enjoying the hydration. I'm shipping a bunch of autographed photos out, and I got an important package to pick up.
Another video update followed upon returning home.
Hey everybody, I just made it home! I walked every single step, though I stopped at Taco Bell for a little edibles, a little filling, a little good stuff. But anyway, I walked the entire 2+ miles. Let's check my Fitbit. Woo! 23,000. But aside from that, I do thank y'all so much for donating to help me in this emergency situation. The money will be spent to pay for the car as well. So it's all very good. I'm not cheating anyone. Everyone should know that by now. I'm direct, I'm honest, I'm sincerely kind. I'm awesome to hang out with. Okay?
On the final day of July, Christine went to Facebook to write that she apparently found out what one of the so-called 69 special Sonichus and Rosechus looked like. She then detailed and drew the appearance of Sturbanchu, a Sonichu character introduced to her by the Idea Guys. She also revealed her incomplete list of the 69 special Sonichus, a concept also brought to her by the Idea Guys, Joshua Wise, and Stephen Boyd. These included Chris's own original Sonichus and a large number of characters that the Idea Guys told her about,
tired,
which
guys.
were often in name referencing controversial
We'll finish this
figures
one
of
and
the
we'll be at
time or
66?
inside jokes, including Logan Paul
No,
Chu,
65?
Cosby Chu, Fogel Chu, Replacement Rose Chu,
we'll be at
and
60
Slavichu.
66 on the next one.
On August 1st, Chris went online to reveal that her mother had found a leather pouch containing some rocks of upwards to 26 years old, which were
Jeez.
purported to bring their holder physical and emotional relief. She hung the pouch on a necklace and carried it in her bosom constantly. Also on that day, Chris shared a tweet from voice actress Tara Strong, which featured images of some of the characters she had played, wishing these so-called girlfriends a happy National Girlfriends Day. Chris added that she would not be repeating her mistake from last year's Girlfriend Day, which resulted in a public falling out between her and illustrator and voice actress Doopy Doover, so she simply expressed her love for her lady friends without naming them. The next day, a Twitter user posted a short video clip of them in the process of making a Sonichu plush doll. Christine came to ask the plushie maker why Sonichu's mouth protruded as much as it did. They agreed that the mouth looked a little long, but did not mean to change it, as it may look more balanced later on. Chris also felt the mouth,
What's up,
which
Lee?
threw her
This-
off,
when this
should
one's
remain
done, I'll
as
be
was,
done, because
as
I've already
she was
been
sure
streaming
she would get
for
used to its imperfections.
3 hours, so...
On August 3rd, Christine finalized the comic
I've
book
already been
that had
streaming
been
for
heavily
3 hours,
influenced
so after,
by the
after
Idea
this part,
Guys.
I'll be done.
Originally designated as issue 16, the comic was now known as Sonichu issue 13, or The Awakening of a CPU, also known as The Idea Guy Corruptions. On the artless front cover, Chris warned her readers that even though all the events in the comic were true and actually happened, the book was filled with offensive material with which she did not agree. In contrast to previous works, this issue was not scanned and shared page by page, and was not in full uploaded online upon completion, and was instead physically printed and then sent to her Patreon backers to avoid having her account terminated due to the content of the pages. The issue is also distinctly text-heavy, presented in her original handwriting, with the majority of the pages remaining uncolored. The story begins with Christine recounting her idea of how she came in contact
we should
with
be
John
finishing
Yamada,
the
a soldier
Chan
from
saga
game
within the
industry
next...
who was in reality portrayed by
next
Joshua
week,
Wise.
right? Hypothetically.
He tells her to go to her Sega Dreamcast game console, for it contained the key to creating a portal between dimensions. Magi-chan teleported to her and scanned the console. Upon touching it, they felt electricity surge through them, and a portal opened up into the world depicted in the game and anime series, Hyperdimension Neptunia. Chris then details the struggles and battles in Quickville between various foes and heroes from different franchises.
Yeah, the last couple days I did 5
Akan
each night.
from the film Hardcore Henry,
Part of me was like, fuck
Monica
it, no nuts,
from the
let's get
game
to part
Doki
70
Doki
tonight,
Literature
but
Club, and the Sailor
I'm on
Scouts
fugues.
from the anime Sailor Moon.
Yeah,
Later
Chan
on,
wrote
Quickville
out
gets
that you
attacked
signed
by
their poster,
Akan,
dude.
leading a troop of Russian cloakers taken from the game series
Yeah, Dina,
Stalker.
no problem.
Because of Akan, Quickville Shopping Mall, and then later Chris's
And
own
then on the
house
side,
get
I'm watching- I'm
destroyed,
playing,
but then quickly
Tears of the
restored
Kingdom.
back to normality again.
So it kind of works out.
While signing a peace
know?
treaty, Akan then opens up a time vortex, which sucks in Chris and Sonichu. While Chris remains trapped, Sonichu gets forcibly relocated to Africa, where he is chased by the natives. Along the way, he meets with Dr. Emmett Brown from the Back to the Future film series, who
Emmett
offers to
Brown.
give him a ride back to Quickville. Chris goes on to explain that in Quickville's dimension, the USA lost the Cold War to Russia and as a consequence are ruled by the Russian Federation. In 2016, Hillary Clinton was elected president, but after violently falling ill, She was replaced
How far
by
me and
Vladimir
Zelda?
Putin of Russia. This
All I gotta
resulted
do is
in
just beat the boss.
riots between the Russian mafia and the
But
Japanese
I'm trying
organized
to
crime collective, the
Power
Yakuza.
up.
In Quickville, Ian Brandon Anderson was elected as sheriff, and the
I'm
new
trying to get
mayor
the
of
best
Quickville was
equipment
the actor
for
Brendan
the fight.
Fraser. Chris reflected that during the
Yeah, I
male
think
Christian
Chan watched
Chandler's
everybody.
term in office, he revoked women's rights in the area and had banished Quickville's Megan Schroeder because of the way
That
the
makes me
real-world
wonder
Megan
because
had
there was a
rejected
poster
Christian
earlier
in
that it showed,
2007, stripping
and it showed
her
my
of
name
her
crossed
special
out.
powers,
So
though
did
she
Chris
was later
Chan cross
promoted
my name
to a
out?
CPU goddess.
Or was it
Christine
somebody else that
and John
signed the
Yamada
poster
then
that
traveled
crossed it to
back
be
in
funny,
time
like,
to the year
like
2000
Alpha
to
or
prevent the old Christian
Rerez
from
or
abolishing
Billy.
women's rights. Christine was very disappointed
Justin.
with the
Justin
Christian
could
of
have been the one
2000
that X'd
as
out
he
my
had been
name.
possessed by Satan
So
or
if
something.
it wasn't any of them,
Christine discovered that Christian had become
it was
kidnapped
fucking
and
Chris Chan
converted
that
by
crossed my name out on
Nazis
the poster.
and had used the powers of his own Sonichu medallion to keep dictator Adolf Hitler alive. Christine killed off Christian and took away the powers of the medallion, causing Hitler
it was
to disintegrate
more than likely it
into
was
dust.
Justin Silverman that did
John
it.
Yamada then traveled further
'Cause
back
they all
in time
signed it.
to prevent Christian's kidnapping, later learning that Christian had been taken to Islam
But
to
that
have
makes
his
me
demonic
wonder if
possession
I've met Chris
exorcised
Chan
by having his Sonichu medallion
in the past
shoved
without
up his
knowing
anus.
Chris Chan was a thing.
Christine then reveals that out of the 69 special Sonichu eggs that were emitted from the chaotic rainbow of February 1st, 2003, 2 of them resulted in her father, Bob Chandler, and herself. She declares herself as have been a real Sonichu for her whole life in the world of Quickville and the Chosen One. Aside from herself, she tells the readers that most of the residents of her town have become satanic, atheist, or what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Chris
If it
states
was
that Angelica
2015,
Rosechew, along with the entire
that
Christian
poster
church
was
of
signed.
the
I
town,
didn't sign it,
first
though, so that's
converted
the
to
thing.
Islamism,
So I
then
probably didn't meet
Satanism.
them.
Blake Sonichu became an extremist who
Or they didn't
worshipped
ask me to
Islamic
sign it.
militant leader Osama bin Laden. Wild Sonichu began growing marijuana, which Chris did not mind much. However, she much objected to Wild's production of methamphetamines. Bubbles Rosechew started to identify as a muscular black male, and Punchy Sonichu wound up in an insane asylum. Chris then inserted the page she drew on December 7th, 2017, after learning from Joshua Wise that Rosechew had allegedly been born as a male and had gender reassignment surgery to become a fully functional female in 2008. Christine wrote extensively of how much these news upset her, largely because she had defended her over the years upon seeing troll-created imagery of Rosechew with a penis. After some time, Chris felt she could continue to love and cherish her Rosie regardless. She then added a short summary of how when Sonichu and Rosechew first met, they kissed a lot in sewage, and when they first made love, they role-played as hockey players. Chris then moves on to discuss the war between Quickville and the neighboring nation of Australatina, a fictional land created by noted lolcow, ADF, and introduced to Chris through Joshua Wise. The war was started when a quick defense soldier pooped on the border between the two nations and was then killed by the
What the
Austinans.
fuck is going on with the
Not
poop
long
and all
after
that?
the start of the war, DJ Jamsta Sonichu was sued by Punchy for sexual assault. Chris felt that he was not guilty, so she sent prayers and good vibes to the courthouse. As a result, Jamsta was found not guilty, but riots ensued across the town. A few days later, the Austinans killed the entire Quick Defense Force and took over the west half of Quickville. John Yamada and the CPU goddesses from Hyperdimension Neptunia defended the east side. The Russian troops then left the town, and in their place came the Nazis. They ended up burning Simone Rosechew alive.
He's fucking wild with his
Meanwhile,
stories.
in Equestria, thousands of evil Chris clones had evolved into a blobious form, which were all lured into an open field and burned by napalm. Chris then returns to talk about the occupying Nazi forces in Equestria and Quickville, highlighting that whenever one of them called her by the German male honorific, Herr, instead of the female, Frau, they would get doused with her own blood that multiplied from a single drop, and they would dissolve immediately and fully. The Nazis in Equestria are soon killed off by the My Little Pony character, Discord, the god of chaos. Kristen clarifies that the Nazis were in fact not completely melted by her blood, but survived, and as a consequence became infused with her DNA. Upon their banishment from Equestria, when they returned to Germany, they all transformed into Sonichus. They thusly disband their Reich altogether and give up their weapons under the command of the CPU goddess Blonde. Next, in January 2018, John Yamada and Sonichu infiltrate a Nazi prison where Rosie Rosechu and Roberta had been raped and impregnated as part of a repopulation scheme. John and his crew destroy the facility, and he decapitates the warden. Sonichu zooms around attacking Nazi troops and slices them into pieces. Meanwhile, in the real world, Christine's father, Bob Chandler, appears alive and well in California. He is transported to the portal that would take him to Quickville. While there, he meets with 80s serial killer Ted Bundy, who had become reborn as a Sonichu and was an ally of Quickville. Minutes later, Bob Chandler and Ted Bundy travel through the portal and emerge in Quickville in their respective Sonichu forms. The Sonichus are very pleased to meet Bob, or as he is known now, Robert Chu, and express how much they have missed him. Chris illuminates that after they died, Ted and Bob did not go to heaven or hell, but transformed into Sonichus and traveled to the nation of Quickville, where they help defend it. The following day, Adolf Hitler, while giving a speech to his Nazi forces that were still occupying West Quickville, transforms into a Sonichu. The other Nazi soldiers also become Sonichus and Rosechus, and even male Rosechus and female Sonichus, as they had become infused with Christine's blood. The Nazis and their ideology soon dissolve. Soon after, the pregnant Rosie and Roberta gave birth to 3 male Rosies and 3 female Sonnies, respectively. The worlds of Quickville and Equestria then returned to normality. After 30 years of psychically defending the town and scanning for homosexuals, Magi-chan suffers a horrible mental breakdown, which causes a tear to form in the Earth's noosphere, causing violent storms, which Chris could not repair. Magi-chan further highlights that a big reason for why he was so mentally strained was that he spent so long during Chris's homophobic years scanning for homosexuals when he was gay himself, revealing his marriage to his Pokemon mentor, Mewtwo, and also Sylvana Rosechu. He states that once the tear was repaired, he would also marry Christine. In March 2018, Christine faces the tear in the noosphere and summons a myriad of transformative superpowers, which turn her into her super angelic evolved form, and she is able to close the 5-mile-long tear in 4 minutes, including a brief rest in the middle. Afterwards, Chris writes a 5-page-long tirade in which Chris-chan Sonichu criticizes Magi-chan for his reckless actions caused by jealousy. In the end, Chris-chan forgives him and surprises him with a kiss, promising that she will marry him. On the next page, she confesses that she is a bisexual trans woman and was proud to have Magi-chan and Krizel Rosechu as her spouses. Christine then writes that Sonichu started a needless war against the CPUs,
he definitely has an imagination, I'll
quell.
tell you that much. He's out there.
In Quickville Shopping Center, Sonichu is shooting at unknown targets with a handgun when Chris-chan Sonichu appears to stop him. She admits that she neglected Sonichu's and Rosechu's needs, and that many things around Quickville and herself had changed, and that she would have paid more care to the way Sonichu would react, considering that Sonichu was autistic as well. Chris goes on to confess that she had become bisexual and even had purchased an Xbox game console. She addresses Sonichu's concerns regarding the CPUs,
That's hilarious. Well,
saying
welcome
that she
to the
was never
catch-up.
brainwashed by them and simply listened to their information and advice. Chris-chan then reveals that she is not as sex-crazed as she once was, and had begun to embrace more of her Sonichu side, for example, sleeping in a puddle of her own pee in her bed. She then telepathically sends Sonichu a quick overview of her recent life events to better illustrate how much she had changed. After this revelation, she begs for Sonichu's forgiveness. She professes her love for him and then kisses him on the lips. Chris-chan promises that she will have sex with Sonichu, her son, later, but first urges that they undo some mistakes they had made. Sonichu expresses his appreciation for Chris, taking her share of the blame, but tells her that she made him too horny and so demands that they have sex immediately, possibly infected by the past Christian's sexual desires. Chris Chan angrily refuses, and they get into a spat. Chris envisages a future in which Sonichu restrains her by force and rapes her.
Definitely
so in order to stop that possibility from happening, she uses her powers to confuse him and make him drop to the concrete. She then sticks her hand inside Sonichu's rectum and forms a fist, causing him to ejaculate. Chris Chan then lifts him up into the air with her hand still firmly in his rectum and yells that he should be punished. Sonichu is physically restrained by Chris, who tells the audience that he will be punished in more graphic ways, which will not be depicted in the comics. Chris goes on to explain that Paxton Fattel, an antagonist from the video game series Fear, falsely claimed to wage war on Quickville. Chris Chan Sonichu and Sonichu travel back in time to make sure he never visited Quickville, in turn ending up in a reality in which the Soviet Union never dissolved and ruled most of the world. They traveled further into the future to make sure that the USSR indeed did split up in 1991. They returned to the present day to a well-damaged Quickville, and Chris announces her plans to restore it to former glory. As an aside, she adds that the national anthem of Quickville is the song Think by Aretha Franklin. As an epilogue, Christine, while in her Chris Chan Sonichu form, writes that John Yamada was a counterpart of the idea guy, Joshua Wise, who lives in the real world of Earth 1218.
Yeah,
Chris admits that Wise royally messed with her, in addition to the worlds of Quickville, Equestria, and the CPU goddesses themselves. Fortunately, with Magi-chan's guidance, she was able to stop Wise's destructive reign. Chris added that Wise and his accomplice, Stephen Boyd, had extorted from her $6,000 worth of gift cards and toys, which she was confident she would get back from them. However, she boasted that she got the best of Wise and Boyd because their treachery only strengthened her psychic link with the other worlds. Finally, Chris wrote that she had connected with the CPU goddess of the Commodore 64 console, CPU Blueheart, and had the goddess's consciousness transferred into her by touching the console, acquiring all her memories and knowledge. Chris thusly proclaims herself as CPU Blueheart of Kama and Quickville, in addition to being Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu. Upon completing the comic, Chris changed her name on her Twitter profile to Chris Chan Sonichu /Blueheart, and her description read, "I am Miss Christine Weston Chandler, Sonichu, creator / chronicler of Sonichu and Roastchu, and CPU goddess of the nations of Quickville, Kama, and the Commodore consoles." Also on August 3rd, Christine uploaded a near-hour-long YouTube video in which she custom spray paints her new shoes to have the Sonichu colors of yellow and blue.
So there they are in here. Faded glory. So that's the old shoes, and here we have the new shoes. Same thing, a DS Neo. Took out the shoelaces a little while ago.
Thank you for popping in.
We're going to get to work on coloring these going from all the white to yellow and blue. Yeah, I am going to use the duct tape. So I'm pulling out a good strip of it. Kinda. So, definitely bring out the popcorn, because you're watching it as it happens. We're painting the shoes.
Let's watch this.
2 months I've been a CPU goddess. Almost 2 months.
How are you doing?
Hello. Hey, everybody, guest star. Here's Barbara Ann. There's Barbara Ann. Say hello. Oh, darn it. Oh, boy. Everybody's seen that mark on your face. Tell them what happened.
You know, Bob, I'm not going to see anybody that's going to say anything.
Yeah. Mama tripped on the wet grass outside. Hit her face on the ground. Jeez. But I helped pick her up and got her inside. Got her ointment, emergency treatment. She's okay. Now, what was I doing? Oh, right.
How much did they cost?
The shoes?
Yeah.
Oh, they were about $50.
50?
Yeah.
He buys $50 shoes when they need fucking money, man.
Yeah, they're really nice shoes.
They are. They look nice.
Yeah, they're gonna be even nicer after I finish customizing.
I bought another roll of duct tape today.
Oh yeah, I noticed you did. Yeah, when you
expensive.
when you got the screws for the
A sad,
for the mirror.
a happy and sad tissue on the
she's
floor?
making
What do you mean?
Making a vertical mirror. It's going to be horizontal for gonna be hanging it in my
I'm confused. What do you mean by
my
that?
room here later after she gets it done. But she's been doing very well. She's very awesome. She's quite physically able and whatnot. She can. I'm very proud of my mom.
I'm real proud of you too.
Thank you.
Boy, that van drives good with those new tires.
Oh, excellent.
I stopped
Yeah, those are a
bleeding,
fresh
so
pair
I
of kicks. They didn't look half bad.
washed the dried blood off.
Well, that's good. I'm really sorry you tripped. Jeez.
It was the grass. Everything was so wet.
Oh yeah.
My body is still in shock, so I'm not doing anything tonight.
Well, that's okay.
I'm just resting.
Yeah, except you still went ahead and cooked dinner, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Didn't do
deviate
shit
from
to
the
help her.
norm. I am a CPU goddess storm. Just kidding as I say that. Not a storm. Oh, look at plastic gloves. Excuse me.
I have
Is he
a
spray
suggestion.
painting that
Once
shit?
this is donated, the 4 pillows to Goodwill.
No! I may have a need for those.
2 of them.
No, I may have a need for those, but no, just no. No.
Okay.
No, not the body pillows. Latex gloves. Why didn't I think of this sooner? Should have done this sooner. Can't think of everything simultaneously. And there's the reason why I have a little black. I have some black paint. Carefully.
Yeah, no paper.
Push this thing. Whatever. Easy. It's not damn.
Those other glasses didn't work for me.
Yeah, he needed food and mortgage,
We're
but
gonna
he bought
get
shoes
those
that
adjusted for you.
he's fucking him up.
Maybe.
I need to get new glasses. Maybe September I can afford.
You hear that, people? Send me a couple of $100 and I can get my mother a new pair of glasses.
Did you put the Civil War wall chart on
Could have bought your
eBay?
fucking mom the glasses instead of those fucking...
No. And I have too many other things to worry about other than frickin' eBay. And don't I?
Could have bought your mom glasses instead of those shoes.
You know more of my life, folks. Stay tuned for further details on
Could
the
be
life
worse
of
though. He could be
CPU
doing
and
fake
training.
giveaways, right? At least he makes stuff.
Have fun. I got a blue ring on my finger.
Got it on the carpet.
Don't worry about the carpet.
I've enjoyed my time with you. I think I'll go lay on my back. Let my back rest.
Okay,
Because it hurts.
I hear you. I love you, dear.
Love you, baby. See you later.
See you later.
Oh, I washed all your towels and washcloths.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna lay your washcloths here.
Oh no, put them there, please. Put them on the clothing stack. And leave those. Those are just receipts from today, among which.
Oh, dude, he did paint on the
that's
fucking carpet.
The shoe
Jesus.
receipt you're looking at. Would you please put it back and get out of my way? You're in my way right now.
Don't forget to shred them.
I'll shred them
Being mean to his
later.
mommy.
Thank you. Go on. Thank you. I love you.
Love you.
I don't want to get interrupted. Don't interrupt. Okay, so essentially the point is, we got both shoes, mostly both shoes painted. Gonna wait for the paint to dry. It's gonna take about half an hour or so. And I'm pretty much gonna end this video right now. Alright, so anyway, that's it. I'm Christine Chandler. You have been watching this channel. You have been watching me color shoes. Thank you. Have a
He
good
didn't
day.
lay down any
Support
cardboard.
this CPU. Come on, quick, yes.
On August 5th, Christine responded to a YouTube video from attorney and YouTuber Rekieta Law, which featured Kiwi Farms administrator and guard dog Null as a guest, who discussed the extortion committed by the Idea Guys. Chris objected to Null's dismissive comments against her pastoral counselor, Rocky Shoemaker, and her friend, Anna McLaren, who said that they did nothing to help Christine. Chris wrote on Twitter that the two were simply unable to help with the police, and did not in fact refuse to assist authorities. Chris requested an apology from Null on the Kiwi Farms. Null instead went to the farms to elaborate that Anna had been veritably harassing Chris for 2 days, pleading with her to cease all contact with the guard dogs, namely Null, Marvin, and the captain, the QB Farms members close to her who greatly helped her in ceasing the idea guy's influence over her. The captain told forum users that Christine was messaging him to vent because Anna was giving her too much stress. Despite Anna's actions, Chris informed the captain that she wanted the guard dogs to remain in her life. On August 9th, Chris went to Twitter to ask if she always had freckles on her face, since she just noticed them herself. On August 13th, Christine was photographed waiting for her meeting with her therapist at the Region 10 Community Services Board, wearing her Sailor Moon tiara and a head and hairband, as her Nightstar plush doll accompanied her. Later on, she watched a video posted by artist Project SNT, which featured her radical redesigns of Sonichu and Rosechu. Chris wrote on Twitter that SNT happened to draw a Sonichu and Rosechu from a different dimension than that of which everyone knew, and described their respective origin stories. She defended the way she originally drew Rosechu because it was what she allegedly saw when she witnessed her for the first time, declaring that she had a strong psychic link with that dimension for her entire life. Chris then tagged Shannon McGuire, the writer who first told her about the existence of multiple Earths in the multiverse seen in the Marvel comic books. Christine wrote that McGuire surely could relate to Chris's interdimensional psychic link, to which McGuire replied, "No, I really can't. Please don't drag me into this. When I was talking about a multiverse, I was talking about the imaginary multiverse as exists in Marvel Comics canon, not a real place you can really access." Chris apologized for her previous assumptions, but still let her know that writers, such as herself, had the power to project themselves into other dimensions. Also on that day, she shared a diagram showcasing how she supposedly transformed between her various
number 65.
forms,
It should say it right
Christian
there on the bottom
Sonichu,
left of the
her pony
actual
form,
CPU
player, Blueheart,
over there.
and Blueheart's Sonichu form.
We're on 65.
Later again, a Twitter user shared with her a fan illustration of Scarlet Blueheart in a voluptuous form, to which Chris responded by stating neither Scarlet nor herself were fat. Finally, on the 13th, she posted a video decrying the announced My Little Pony Generation 5 TV series, which would replace the current Generation 4 iteration and would drastically deviate in art style.
It.
Hey there, everybody. This is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again. People of Earth 1218, heed my warning. Spoiler alert, I had seen the future and I had to prevent it. Princess Twilight Sparkle was about to upgrade Applejack to Alicorn status, but it backfires. Twilight's wings get put onto Pinkie Pie, and Twilight's horn gets onto Fluttershy, and it's just no good, and that's how we end up with that frickin' G5. We must prevent this. This is not gonna work out, and I have foreseen this. This is very, very bad. So I had just conferred with Twilight and Princess Celestia as
Chris
well.
Chan got fucked when he was in prison.
Celestia and I are in agreement, as she had seen the future as well. We must prevent this G5 mistake from ever happening. And yes, G4 will continue. But anyway, heed my word, Hasbro, and everybody on the MLP show. Generation 5 must never happen. And G4 must have at least 5 more seasons. Heed this.
Damn, this fucking lingering cough sucks.
This is an official command from your CPU Blueheart, in agreement with Princess Celestia of Equestria, all of which in our sister dimension. Thank you.
She reiterated her anger at the announcement of a new series without the wanted resolution in the G4 storyline in a Twitter thread that same day, vaguely threatening Hasbro, the owners of the MLP franchise. Christine continued replying to other Twitter users the next day, proclaiming G5 would bring downfall upon Equestria and everyone residing both in their sister dimension and the real world as well. On August 15th, Chris uploaded a brief video of herself yelling out of frustration,
Chan
possibly
cough?
as a result of the My Little Pony
Could be.
debacle.
Could definitely be the Chan cough.
Over the next few days, she received several negative ratings from her buyers on eBay, complaining that the items they had purchased from her never arrived. On August 17th, Chris listed a newly made Roastery cardboard standee for $150. By this date, her overall positive rating stood at 90.1%. This was followed by a video advertisement of her eBay products that was posted on her Facebook page.
I love the rap song.
She further begged for people to buy her items on Twitter, as the Chandlers were nearly broke and their cats and dogs needed food. The captain revealed on the QB Farms that she had asked him to advertise her eBay page to others, but he refused upon learning that Chris had spent around $2,000 on My Little Pony merchandise at BronyCon. Also on the 17th, she posted another short video clip on Twitter in which she recites a so-called earworm.
The fuck?
3 days later, Chris uploaded a YouTube video starring her mother Barbara, advertising some of Chris's eBay products, including a signed photo of Barbara herself.
I wasn't planning on falling asleep to it.
I am autographing pictures to be sold on eBay. Thank you for buying. We appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Wait. We tell them to buy the other things as well, aside from that.
It will help us to buy food for the rest of the month. Thank you.
And buy everything else from Christine Chandler on eBay. Thank you. Definitely the high-ticketed items as well. Jeez. Oh well. You did okay.
Not long after posting the video, Chris halved the prices of her own autographed photos, resulting in them selling out within an hour. Christine had begun to embrace her infamy once more by increasing her merchandise output. However, like with the
Chris
ideas
didn't have to
she
worry
sought
about
from
rent
her
when he
circle
was
of
in
friends
prison
and acquaintances,
or jail, whatever you want
she
to call
focused on instant gratification with no foresight of her future outlook, dooming herself to an endless cycle of foregoing needs in favor of wants, ignoring mistakes of her past that she was bound to relive in the future.
Oh man, what a interesting. All right, guys, so I'm going to end it there for the evening. I have a wrestling show tomorrow night, so if I do get on, it'll be late, like after 11, possibly. If not, then Sunday I should be on. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It means a lot. You guys are awesome. I know that sounds cheesy and stuff, but, you know, you guys keep me company. And I genuinely appreciate that. And watching these things are pretty fun for the most part. One more, man. No, I gotta take off. Make sure you guys watch the content. I didn't put anything out today, but go back and watch some of the videos I've put out this week, please. The views were kind of low, and I need help getting back into the algorithm and stuff like that. So I hate asking for it, but that's how YouTube is. So I will see you guys later. Maybe tomorrow night. Just make sure to check the channel manually or put notifications. We should be on. I will see you later. Y'all take care. Have a good night.